Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of Storms over Cerenar Session 8. After uh, uh, almost tearful goodbye between Vega and Theus, whose real name we learned is Antares, actually. We now divert our gaze further to the west, to the Nomad Levitator, where we find Aust, Nongul, and Safis. Do you, you are all sailing down to the southwest on this large desert river, the bottom of a valley. Do you guys want to do anything on your way to Rath Hajar, or speak about anything?
Not immediately. Also, is Saldin with us as well?
Yes, he is also with you.
Good. Alright, so for Cephas's part, he will if Nurgle and Onst are interested, he will kind of go into briefly explaining just like what he's familiar with the city and specifically who they're going after.
Sure.
Jolly good.
Well, also notably, DM, do I actually know the exact region of her estate?
Yeah, that is public knowledge. She is.
She's not hiding her well.
No, she's not hiding.
Yeah, but so where is that though? Because I, the player, am not sure.
I will show you on the map I made.
Oh, it's the map. We should turn around and not go there, guys.
Yeah, precisely. There is her estate, and you might want to zoom in a little bit.
I'll agree with you when it loads in for me.
Oh,
It's
all right.
the Hennedy estate.
Yeah.
All right, I'm zoomed in on the map. But I'm going to zoom back out so our audience can appreciate the details in this frickin' map. Wow, Roar.
Yeah, a lot of kind strangers on Reddit were very happy about it as well. So
It's almost like we have a DM that knows what he's doing.
yes, when it comes to maps,
I'm sure a lot of players can appreciate a DM that actually puts time and effort into their actual map.
Oh yeah, definitely. But so.
do you want me to ping it again? Is it loaded for Aust and Cephas?
Yeah, it just loaded
so
for me, so it's good now.
I had to close the tab because it literally said it broke in Firefox, and now I can't get back in. So we'll give it a minute or two, and then I'll get back in.
All right, perfect.
But I've seen it, and it looks lovely.
Yeah, you can follow on the stream if you want to.
That's true. I'm coming back in now, so that's cool.
All right, sure. All right, Cephas, please.
Sorry, 1 second. Alright. So, Nurgle, Ost, Safis would like to talk to you for a moment. If you have the time.
Noggle puts down something that's far too heavy for him to be carrying in the first place. He puts it down. Yes, and what is it?
Safis would like to discuss with you the a little bit about the city we are going to visit, and more to the point, the slaving person that we are going to hopefully deal with permanently. Gotta clear this throat a little bit. Safis has been to Rath Hajar on a few occasions, enough times to be somewhat familiar with the city. Have either of you been to the city before?
I've had medical business time and time again.
I'm not sure whether would Aust have been through Rath Hajar at any point.
Well, not necessarily. Roll me a d20. We'll figure it out. If it's 11 or more, yeah, he went through there on his way to Cerenar. Yeah, you did. You were briefly there.
Sure, yeah. Flying visit, but, you know.
I spend most of my time around the Basalt Pillar myself. The gardens there are quite lovely, actually.
I spent most of my time drunk, so, who knows?
Well, Sophie thinks if you spent time in the Basalt Pillar and he kind of just waves over at us, wherever you were drinking, you likely have not seen most of the city. The region of interest to us will be the eastern portion of the city, in particular a small sub-island stationed to the river known as Aldea's Island. It is a collection of private estates for, as one would imagine, the wealthy. One particular estate on the north end of the island is owned by our ever so esteemed colleague that you see he's visibly uncomfortable talking about this person, and it's kind of the first time you've seen Safis so like tongue-tied in a way. But so this is where she is living, and it is to put it lightly, it's a well-guarded place. Safis has viewed the estate on one or two occasions for strictly observational purposes. She keeps several of her honor guard there, along with a host of her business associates. She also keeps a small private market there, which is where Safius hopes she is keeping his sister. Besides that, she has other storehouses throughout the city on some of the more, such as the Shahat Island, the Bizarre District. This might be where she is. The question, what Safius is trying to get at is, the question is, what do you two think we should be doing? Safius is inclined to perhaps find our way into her estate, find his sister and slit a throat or two.
That's quite brash, but seeing that we do have somewhat of a time schedule, and I don't want to get back into my pillar business again, there are ways we could lure her out or whatnot, but this might take time that I don't think we have. I think we introduce ourselves as vaguely as we can to the city, meet our friends when they arrive, and then I'm not proficient in this, but yes, maybe a direct assault on her estate would be not direct assault, but of course a more sneaky assault using your paws or whatnot to get into her estate.
It is a waterfront property. Swimming in is always an option.
Swimming! Yes. Oh, I had a spell that allows to walk on water, but it's in my other book. Interesting.
They always are.
They always are.
Seldin speaks up.
Are we speaking with Seldin here as well?
He's also on the boat. It is a very small boat, the Nomad Levitator.
Yeah. Okay.
I assaulted the Henenu estate before I went looking for Saphis. They might have moved the slaves or the prisoners. But I do not know this. If they have been captured once, they might wise up and hide them in a more difficult place to reach.
And Safius thinks it might be prudent for us to investigate where these slaves might be hidden. And
Safius.
Yeah, before you ask a question,
Sorry, go on.
just DM real quick.
Yes.
Slavery is legal in the Emirate, correct?
Yes. So and trigger warning for everybody, just to be sure, because the world is not necessarily a nice place, and in large parts of Cerenar, slavery has been outlawed. But in the Hachari Emirate, slavery is very much still a thing. But the slave trade has been made illegal. So it is while it is legal to own slaves and technically breed them, you're not allowed to sell them to everybody. And this should, over time, the ideal is that the profits will go away, and then slavery will slowly and steadily kind of make itself stop, or at least that is the official position, right? There used to be a big slave market on Sahad Island that is now called the Plaza of Broken Chains. But it is very well known that you can still buy or trade in slaves if you go to the right places, as long as it's not in front of the city watch. And if it is in front of them, make sure you're bringing your big wallet, because it'll be very difficult to make them look away.
Right. Noted. All right. So, what were you going to ask us?
If time wasn't an object, and we had, planning time aplenty, and there wasn't necessarily a timer on your family members, what would you do in that case? Would you still go in and, clinically remove your family, or would you do something more comprehensive?
Southeast needs us to understand that this woman is influential. She is powerful in both the metaphorical sense through politics, but also in the literal sense. She spent a very long time fighting a very large amount of battles for the Imperium. She is difficult to deal with on all fronts.
So you'd need an army?
Not necessarily. As one could imagine, when your primary method of negotiating, he says kind of with a fake smile, is through intimidation, threat of death, and extortion, you do not make many friends, and those friends you do make tend to abandon you when they realize you are no longer a threat. So the point Safis is trying to make is that while most organizations have backup plans and secondary leaders, for her group, she is very much the head. And to remove her would be to dismantle one of the largest slaving organizations in the Emirate, and one of the largest ones on this side of the continent.
Which, of course, we wouldn't have the time to do. But what if we got the ball rolling?
As well. Safis thinks the best way to get the ball rolling in this regard is to cut her throat. But yes, there are other methods, but Safis kind of just waves himself up and down with his hands. And Safis is an adventurer, he is a desert dweller, he is not somebody who, again waving his hand above him, dwells in the higher world, such as yourself or Nurgle.
Believe me, not for some time.
Currently, right now, still, as far as I know. Sophie, this might go without saying, but the basalt pillar knows of me. I would use this as a last resort unless we could find some other way, but I could ask for favors in there for certain things. I'm not familiar with this woman you speak of. It's perhaps best we keep her name out of things, but if we do get desperate, well, the pillar can be quite a powerful tool.
Savius agrees that this would be an excellent last resort, but Savius is more inclined to move subtly, as Austin is suggesting.
If we are to enter the city under this veil, I think making myself known to the pillar would be unwise.
Whereas making myself known might not be as unwise. But something to keep in the back pocket. So there's a few things. Assuming she has a great deal many friends as she does in Rafajar, I'm assuming she has a great many enemies also.
Safis would certainly hope so. But Safis could definitely imagine there are people who despise her for, at the very least, being a ancient oppressor, and for her more recent deeds of being a slaver. I'm sure there are.
seem pertinent, perhaps, then maybe in the short time we have to get in contact with at least certain elements. If we have the time. But again, we can burn that crossing when we come to it.
Bridge. I think you meant to say bridge. Burn that bridge when we get to it.
Well, we can do that too. And forgive me, I vaguely recall you mentioning a couple of days ago talk of legionnaires in the city. Is that something that...
I should be precise in my wording. I mean to say ex-legionaries.
Yes.
When the Brothers' War broke out, many legionaries, after they lost, were abandoned here by their country, left to fend for themselves. Some, like Henu, the woman we are going to attempt to deal with, found their way into positions of power, while some found their way into being a minority abandoned in the slums of a city that does not care for them.
Slums, you say?
Yes, and some do quite well for themselves, Salden says. It is. But they have either turned their back on the Imperium, or the Imperium has turned their back on them. Or some of them are delusional enough to think that it is only a matter of time before Rathajar again is part of the Imperium.
Well,
it is an interesting minority in the city for sure.
Well, if they feel abandoned, then that can work to our advantage as well. Though, can't imagine what that would feel like. So, maybe, and one would assume in the Venn diagram of people that don't particularly like Henu and legionnaires who are now in the city, there is a central part of both of those, so...
Safis could not tell you specifically. He does not spend much time surveying the opinions of other elves. Safis is aware she is aside from her more illicit dealings, she is also a very capable merchant, and has spent centuries, as one could imagine, building up her repertoire of private guard, wealth, influence. She is established. So Safis thinks if we are to find allies, it must be people who, well, to put it plainly, if we intend to kill her, I think we ought to go in alone and slit her throat while she sleeps, though. He kind of just waves over at Oddstime, aware that it is an oxymoron when talking to elves. But the point stands.
Yes.
Safis thinks that is the plan, but if we intend to draw her out, either motion towards Nurgle, or in some way subdue her ability to function in society, perhaps talking to other merchants. Safis has very little faith in establishments, especially ones that permit such heinous things.
Yeah.
So, if we are to... how to say this? What's then the difference in law regarding slaves in Rathajar?
Vaguely. I know it's not exactly legal, but it's not exactly non-legal either, as far as I can see.
Yes, it is very middling. The idea is that...
area.
Yes, the idea is that if you have owned a slave since before that slavery was made illegal, they are still your property. And in addition, if they ever give birth to any children or sire any children, those children are also your property. However, it is illegal to sell slaves. As I'm sure we are all keenly aware, she is breaking this law. If there is a way for us to perhaps prove this to authority beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is good to go very far in dealing with her.
Agreed, but wouldn't that, if there was questions about her slaves, wouldn't she have them move?
Yeah,
I think our best bet is to find a way to find the slaves, find your family, and then keep our eye on them, and then we maybe disrupt or usurp or whatever the case is her place in the city, and then we follow what she does with the slaves. During the slaves being moved, if they're moved along the river, if this area that you say is correct, that might be the best way to move them, we then follow them and take them slaves. And then who is she to report to if we have the slaves? There's no crime. She can't report it because she's guilty of selling them, especially if she's under inspection from the law.
This is true.
But this will not. They will not stop her thugs from coming for us.
I'm sure we can handle a few thugs.
Yes, well.
Saldin says the word thug, but Cephis believes he means to say elite shock troopers, ex-legionaries with centuries worth of battle under their belts.
So what would you call us then, Cephis?
Thugs.
Well, in this case,
Saldin smiles a big dragonborn, toothy smile. Well,
I mean, in that case, very accurate in my.
Yes, Cephis does not doubt our capabilities, at least through combat, but Cephis' concern is that she has access to people who are like us, more capable than us, and far more intelligent than us.
Regardless of what we do, we should maybe wait for the plan to come into fruition until we have the good Bjorn and Theus back with us. We cannot hope to win an assault with them before they have joined us. Until then, I have some information that we could all use. And then he takes out a map of Rathajar and kind of rolls it out on the deck of the Nomad Levitator. It looks like the map we are all looking at, because that makes it a bit easier, right? He points here. Mm-hmm. This here is Odeo's island and her estate. That is where I saw the slaves, but they might be transported to somewhere else. She has a large market for only the Henenu Trade Association here, selling the goods and spices that her plantations and her partners produce. But over here, the Henenu Menagerie lies, where she peddles in exotic animals and monsters that rich collectors and other eccentric buyers will spend their coin to get whatever they wish. There are other places she are in business, but these are the main places. So our days before Bjorn and Theus arrives might be best spent on reconnaissance.
Yes, Cephis agrees.
And establishing contacts.
Knowing where these slaves are would have to be our first priority. From there, kind of motioning over to us, finding people who could help us in this regard would also be very beneficial.
I think it should also be said, and please, I mean this with the greatest respect, people of that kind of power, regardless of their motivations, do instill a sense of order. And I can't help thinking that the death of such a woman may cause somewhat of a vacuum.
Cephis, give me a history roll with advantage, please.
You got it, boss. History. That'll be a 20 total.
Oh, 30-20, alright. So, the Rathajar is a very prominent trade center in Cerenar, the western trade capital. And that means that the Merchants Guild is very prominent in city politics. Right now, two large factors of factions are vying for control over the Rathajar Merchants Guild. One is the Henenu Trade Association that has a little more than half, or controls a little more than half the seats in the Merchants Guild. The other one is the far-reaching Divine-themed trade company that is active all over Cerenar and somehow aligned to the Rathurian crown, but it is in effect a company, an organization, almost a country, a nation of its own. It is vastly rich and connected and powerful.
It's the East India Company, essentially.
It is the East India Company,
Okay.
essentially.
Right.
They have been trying for decades to crack Rathajar, but the Henenu Trade Association has been able to keep control with most of the trade in the city. So the power vacuum might give it to the Leviathan Trading Company, but thinking in that vein, Safis, you think that the Leviathan Trading Company might not be a bad contact to make either if you need it.
So yeah, I was mentioning potentially like trade partners earlier, but Safis thinks if you are looking for interesting contacts, perhaps the Leviathan Trade Company. I'm sure you've heard of them. They're everywhere. They are, as one could imagine, rivals of Henu and her trade association. It could be very prevalent to attack her this way with these partners, or at the very least recruit some help to follow a potential lead that the much more influential trade company could abuse.
DM, what would I know in terms of the ethics and the morals of the Leviathan Trade Company? Are they would they be considered good guys in any way, shape, or form, or are they just less bad than the Henenu Trade Association?
Well, they are maybe some of the first examples of pure capitalists and mercantilists in Cerenar, right?
Mhm.
So I would call them maybe chaotic neutral. They don't care much for laws unless it protects them and their interests. So they're not bad, but
they're
it's not
certainly
like
not good.
But they're certainly not good either, right? They will definitely do immoral things to turn a profit.
My worry, Sophis, is
But they do not do slaves. Actually, they're very firm of that, and that is a very prominent position, and that is one of their missions is to eliminate slave trade. That's in their mission statement, at least, right? So,
okay. Sophis, I appreciate that the Leviathan Trade Company sounds like a strong ally, but we do need to consider that giving the Leviathan Trade Company Rathajar would essentially give them a monopoly, which, I mean, from my older days of learning, isn't a particularly good thing, but granted, better than slaves. But something to bear in mind, I guess.
You're really selling this option of supporting the Leviathan Trade Company. Right around the part where you said it, not slaves.
True. I mean, you know. Okay.
Safis will not pretend to understand anything about the higher economics or politics or any of this nonsense. All Safis understands is that this woman is evil, and she supports evil. Lest Safis remind you that she is shipping children to be sacrificed in some occult ritual off in Staunchflow. And she is,
of course,
feeding people to scorpion monsters in the desert. She is evil. And while Safis will not pretend to say only good will come from eliminating her, the Safis thinks the vast majority that will come from eliminating her will be good. Or at least a stoppage of evil.
I am merely looking to the both immediate and further future. We need some kind of exit plan in place, both for us getting out of this, but also I feel
that
like,
plan we can make when we have gathered more information.
Of course. I'm merely creating a list of things to be aware of at the moment.
Of course.
We need to make an entry plan first, and then we need to find a way to meet up with our friends. Is there a Safisa quaint place that maybe a band of adventurers such as ourselves could go rather unnoticed inside the city? That I could message to. I could message Theus and Bjorn and let them know where to meet us.
Certainly, Safius has visited the city on several occasions, and I'm sure Sardine has visited even more. DM, where's a good tavern for us to stay at that'll be really low impact?
Where you wouldn't be kind of noticed that much. There is an island central called Solrek Island, which is basically Spring Break Island. It is. They have just put most of the taverns and the breweries and the inns there, and then all the teenagers and the people coming in for tourism and drinking, they don't bother the rest of the city, right?
Alright.
So any tavern there, the Ale Scale Tavern Inn might be like that is the most kind of brand merch, like what is it called, franchised weird inn that you could stay in, but it would basically be like being in a youth hostel in Amsterdam, right? So
Safis will provide this information to the party. Safis thinks this will be a very easy place to dock our ship and arrive without any major issue.
Do we want to arrive by water? Or does that draw a little too much of attention?
No, Safis would like to remind you, this is a massive city. Well, I am... Safis would also like to describe maybe a little more about his relationship with this woman. Safis is keenly aware of her existence. Keenly. Safis is also keenly aware she does not know who he is, or that he in fact exists. Safis has not made a direct move against her or any of her assets in his lifetime. And Safis is not so brazen to assume that he is a well-known figure in the world of Heljar, of the Heljari. Saladin, he's just kind of motioning over to the giant dragon one. It might be a little different, but at the same time, it is still one man disappearing amongst the throng of Dragonborn. Safis is going in a very roundabout way to say he does not think the city is on such a lockdown, or that we as a group are so well known that we have to worry about being made before we start doing any actions.
No, that is correct.
All I needed to know.
Yes. Elicit, of course, emotions to you and Nurgle. You two have any outstanding warrants or potential hazards to be wary of in this city? I don't know.
Not yet.
I've yet to speak with the pillar about my whereabouts. There could be a warrant, but I plan on contacting them before we reach the city, of course.
Yes. Actually, also, Nurgle, as a point of note, obviously the pillar is a last resort if our last resort doesn't work out. But is it possible they would just choose to help if you were to bring sufficient proof that she is participating in some dark god's cult? Or god's cult at all for that matter?
Sure. Yes, if she was going against what the pillar allowed, then we would drop meteors onto her residence. Her and all of her servants would die. And we don't want that.
Yes. Well,
but, of course, worst case scenario, I could speak with the elders at the pillar and let them know that this is something worth investigating. But if we involve the pillar too much, they may take on the other task that we are avoiding at the moment.
True.
And if they do that, then, well, our true reason, no offense to your family, but our true reason for adventure might fall far too much to the wayside. And if we were to pursue that again, it may make the pillar our enemies, and that would be, well, very bad for us.
Fair. But mostly Safis was just curious to know if there were papers to be found if and when we were to silently assail this her homestead or her offices. If it was discovered that we could find the records or information or witnesses regarding these dark dealings with these creatures and with these gods, perhaps it is something we could use as leverage to assail her business.
This is a way to go above your political roundabout way. If we involve her directly against Pillar business, my particular order, the Kobold Shield, is that we're directly in charge for stopping those exact same accusations. I'm sure that my order would be able to take her down at a moment's notice, but again, last resort.
Yes. Sabius is just saying. Just wondering if this is something that could be done.
This is also something that we could do. I could speak on behalf of the Kobold Shield to speak with her. You could be my accomplices, and we could force her to discussion with the Pillar. And while she's gone, it could be a way to actually sort things out. But Saphis, we want her dead, do we not?
Saphis very much wants her dead, but Saphis is also keenly aware that she did not live to the ripe old age of multiple centuries through multiple wars to, be weak.
I think
She
what
only
we'll
has to lose
do.
one.
I think what we'll do here, because I think it's a very interesting discussion, but I really want Theus and Bjorn to be a part of it.
Fair.
So,
We've been having this conversation in that tavern we mentioned, right? As Theus and Bjorn walk in. Oh, how convenient!
no, because of course you need to arrive first. Do you want to do anything else? Prepare anything while you're traveling to Rathajar?
Yes, possibly.
Yes.
Go on.
How many gems do we have? What's our GP worth of gems?
That's in the party sheet.
Yeah, so
It's a couple of hundred.
Couple of hundred. Okay, that's not going to work.
Couple of hundred of them. Are you looking for gems for any particular reason?
Yeah, but I was going to fabricate myself a crystal ball so we could scry if needs be. I don't know if it would actually work, but it was worth a try. But unfortunately, we significantly more crystals for this.
How many more crystals do you need? And what is this crystal ball for?
It's for looking into areas that you're not supposed to look into. Scrying. It's a spell that I actually do have in my spellbook, believe it or not.
You
of course,
have-
I left my crystal ball at home.
Yes, of course.
You have 270 right now in gems, and you need a total of 1,000, right?
We need approximately just over 700 gold pieces worth of gems as well, and then there's only a chance that I could mold these into a crystal ball.
Theoretically, could you use he says pointing over at Ots, the man who grows green crystals out of his body on the regular?
No, that is not.
I'll just kind of shrug and a load of dust comes off me.
I could try. I know I could take this, and he takes out some magicite crystals, and I could use this to form that, but these are far too valuable.
Well, we're in a city with a giant bazaar. We can see what we can do. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah, and also the Conventicle have like honest to god magic shops as well.
Okay. Cool. In the meantime, Nongol, perhaps I'd hate to use you magically. However, I wonder if you could do me a small favor.
My magic is at your disposal, sir.
Oh, if possible, would you be able to send a message for me?
It depends on who it's to.
Well, you've met her, Axia.
Axia?
The lady under my command back at the camp. We
Yes,
sent her
of
across
course.
the desert looking for somebody.
Of course I
Just
can.
Wouldn't mind checking in, seeing where they've got to. They were pursuing off in the direction of Rathrajar from the dig site, so I do wonder.
Well, prepare me words, 25 words or less, but they have to include who I am and why I'm calling, or speaking on behalf. Hello, it's Nongol, friends of Ost. And then you could fill the rest in, and I'll send the message off immediately.
Okay, well, give me a day or so, and I'll... Tell you what, let's do it when we get to the tavern.
I prefer to make sure that none of my spells
In a
have been-
private space.
Well, perhaps at night then, before we rest. I would rather,
Yes.
entering the city, have all of my magical capabilities up and about,
Well,
I guess you could say.
Let's see how the person playing us gets on with running this as quickly as possible, and then we'll find out where we are.
Perfect! I don't know what you're meaning, but...
Beautiful. All
Are you
right.
talking about your sword?
Yeah,
Yes,
of
of
course.
course.
Yes.
All right. So you want to do like you could do multiple sendings. So what do you want to find out from Axia?
He's gonna write the sending first, but in the meantime, I want to contact the pillar.
All right. Go ahead.
I'll contact my half-orc handler.
That was Bjark Burger Jagensnart. Yeah.
Burger jargon.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Hello, Birger. It is Noggle. I have been waylaid with my current party to Vida Hajar. It is of utmost importance that I am not discovered by the pillar in this area. Kobold shield business, I hope you understand. I will update you when business is done.
Dearest Nongle, I hope this finds you well. I have not heard from you for many days. Are you mad at me? We are worried about you, and they are asking about you. What should I say to why they any suspicion that you do not want? Please respond.
There is a update to the relic that I am searching for, and the lead that I am searching for, but it has led me towards this city. I must follow the relic and where it goes, so I am more prepared.
Give me a persuasion with advantage because she's into you.
Oh, shit.
That's not a skill I have.
It's 18.
Of course, I'll do my best, but please take care. We don't want you getting turned into anything unnatural while you're fighting the alien menace, you brave little man.
Very well, goodbye. It was fantastic speaking with you.
All right.
Of course, I will also message Theus and make sure everything's okay, and let him know that we will be at the Ale Scale Tavern on Sulcreek Island. And there's a port there, right? That he could park the barge at?
Yeah, there are piers where you could park your...
Okay. And we'll park the Gnomish Levitator there as well.
All right.
That's, besides showing off my gauntlets of ogre power and doing all the heavy lifting on the ship, that's pretty much all I wanted to do. So.
Right. What about Saphis?
Saphis is a rogue, and therefore doesn't have preparations to make, for he is always ready.
Oh, wow. And then,
I
of
guess
course...
he does a little cardio, and because of that, his movement speed is now 45 instead of 35.
You're going to be stupid quick.
270 feet around, baby.
Oh yeah, I guess explain the level up. Noggle is very happy one morning when all of a sudden he wakes up and he's got his large book out with him. Ah! I can raise the dead! Quicker now, even.
Discussion, Saphis? You a necromancer now?
I would say the party is not quite sure if he's meaning like animate dead or raise dead. You're not quite sure, but he's just crazy enough where it could be either.
Yeah. And Alex, in the meantime, has a little more green dust come on him.
What does Oust want to do in the 3 days you are traveling toward Rathajar?
Am I
Yes.
muted? No, I'm not. Cool.
Nope.
I am muted. No, I'm not muted. I have just put in the message that I would like Noggle to send. That is exactly 25 words. And we will see how that goes. Other than that, I am probably not going to do much. I'm probably just going to lounge around, sort of just be just overly decadent for a man with very little supplies on board and very little room.
Beautiful. All right. So go ahead and send the message, Noggle.
I'm just rewriting it. Hang on.
Rewriting it, he says.
Rewrite.
Oh no.
All right.
Greetings, it's Noggle, champion of Ost. The Arbiter requires a report of whereabouts, whoabouts, and howabouts. Hope all's well. Tata, AS over.
All right.
I took some creative licensing with that, Ost. I hope you don't mind.
I'm perfectly happy with it, to be honest. That's all fine.
Oust, go ahead and give me a roll a d20 for me, please.
Sure thing. Roll
On a
D20.
5, she spits on the ground in disgust.
10.
Straight down the middle. Okay.
All right. You hear a voice back. Nongle, Axia. At Kansmadifon. Laying low, waiting for orders. Do we need to move? Over.
Apparently she's at Cat's Matifun, waiting for orders. She's wanting to know if she wants to move. I don't think she knows that this spell is exhausting, and she should give me more information. But
Right.
I have more spell slots left if you'd like to.
Well,
send her
I
a
wouldn't.
reply.
I wouldn't want to draw on your reserves too much, Nongle. But if you don't mind.
Well, we still have a day before we reach the city. I have other. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Well, one moment, and I'll write another message.
So while she's doing that, there was some large rocks or whatever on the ship that
definitely.
that Nibbles was banging his head into.
Yes.
Nongle will take that time to crush those rocks so Nibbles can put them into the bag of holding. Because
You're almost as strong as Saldin now.
yeah,
Nibbles will gladly put all the rocks into the bag of holding.
yeah, Nongle unproficiently will wield the flail because it's more durable and just start smashing rocks with it. Not that anyone can see, but Kevin is quite alarmed at the behavior of Nongle right now.
Yeah, you're visible. He's being very, very agitated about this.
My unseen servant's like, oh, this is not proper behavior.
Oh, sir, please reconsider. That scum of action might be too rash. He says, with the invisible servant, like unseen servant's voice that only you can hear. All right.
Right. So it sounds like we make it to the city.
Well, we're just gonna wait for us to reply. And then,
Message, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, won't be long.
No
problem.
worries.
Take your time.
All right. So let's see here. In the meantime, I will describe your entrance into Rath Hajar as you sail from come in from the north, and what you see is a large city of towering limestone just spreading up in front of you. You see the stacks of smoke coming out long before you arrive at the city, and then on your right-hand side, you see a massive pyramid with a golden capstone on top, just rising many feet out of the desert, shining almost in the sunlight above it. You see mausolei at the riverbank as you as traffic picks up, and you are only one among many ships getting in and out of Rath Hajar. As you come down more longer down on the river, you see three mausolea on your right, and then as you are about to enter the city walls, where there's a gap where the river flows through it, a copper scaled dragonborn on a flying broom kind of approaches your ship, and has a look at you. Who of you is the captain? He says.
Savis will take a step back.
Yeah, Nongle's
Is it
definitely. No, Nongle's not speaking because if he does, he's gonna. He's not a good speaker.
All eyes on Oust. Is that it?
Hello! Apparently I'm the captain now. How do you do?
Yes. Welcome to Rath Hajar. He takes out like a notepad. Do you have anything to declare?
Only that I'm in need of a good, soft bed and a week off.
Funny guy, huh? He says, looking
Thank
at
you.
you.
And I'm sure that you can make that as smooth as possible for me, and I will slip him 5 gold pieces.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
Sure thing. Do I have a character sheet open? Yes, it's right in front of me. Persuasion roll would be... I'm the only warlock in the world which doesn't have... Oh, 22. There we go.
He looks at the gold pieces that land in his notebook in front of him, and he closes it and he says, "Well, I see everything is in order on this fine vessel, sir. Please, welcome, and may your stay be very pleasant for all of you." And he
Fantastic. Good
and
man.
he touches his forelock or his forehead where his helmet is, and then he flies away again.
I will half salute back.
And as you make your way down through the city, you see how everything is built almost on platforms out in the water. You see canals going in between the city, like the streets of the city, and you see all of these ships and small boats just carrying people around anywhere. After only 5 or 10 minutes after you leave the toll guard, you see a crocodile the size of the giant crocodile, maybe 20 meters large, with a platform on its back, just ferrying people around from one canal to the next, kind of swimming around, so people can get transported across the river in a timely fashion. On your right, you pass Minor Cathonia, and on your left, Odeos Island, with all the mansions kind of appear with their beautiful gardens and tiled roofs and limestone everywhere. Do you do anything on your way down here? Where do you want to kind of cast the anchor? And also, I guess the message is ready as well. So
Yeah, I want to cast Reduce on the crocodile. Just kidding. I'll set setting. A deserting duo dealt with. If at loose end, proceed to Rath Hajar. Not Legion business. Consider private contract. Tata. AS over.
give me another D20 roll, Oust.
Okay. Sorry, my Foundry is being very slow today. Oh, of course. There we go.
All right.
Natural
Do you want a very bad success, or do you want a failure?
I want you to do whatever you want.
A bad success or a failure.
Yeah,
I love this.
So if I roll 1 or 2, you're going to get a very bad success. And I roll a 3. You get words back. Nongle, Axia, deserting duo, not to be found. We turned around at the edge of the desert, going to Kansmadifun. We will go to Rath Hajar. Might take a few days. Over.
Also, apparently they haven't found the duo you spoke of, but they are on their way. I'll send them. They said that would take them a few days. I'll message them out in the next couple of days and see where they're at.
That's fine.
Just remind me, I have plenty of things on my mind right now. Noggle does his best, as we're actually, before we head into the city, to take off his wizard robes, find whatever he can make to actually just make him look like he wants to look like a bum, like a pirate kind of thing, right? He doesn't want to look like a wizard.
All right, so he's trying to disguise himself.
Yeah, so I will use, as I enter the city, I will use Knowledge of the Ages to give myself proficiency with disguise. But I don't have a disguise kit, so what kind of roll would you like for that?
Give me a disguise roll with disadvantage then.
Disguise roll disadvantage?
Yeah, you're just trying to find random things and make do with, right?
Okay, and disguise, what would you like the check to be?
I would say probably intelligence.
Intelligence?
Yeah, so just give me an intelligence with advantage, or with disadvantage, but proficient, right?
Okay, so that will be a plus 10. So I'll just roll an investigation. So that will be a 21 is what my disguise check will be. I just don't want to look like I'm Pillar.
Oh, you won't get a plus. Oh, yeah, no, a total of plus 10. All right.
Yeah, because with my knowledge of the ages, I'm proficient with it. So that's plus 5 from intelligence, plus 4 from
I see.
proficiency, plus 1 from the stone of luck.
You, with random bits and bobs you find in your bag of holding and around the Nomad Levitator, even pieces of clothing you don't remember Rihad must have left somewhere, you managed to dress up real nice as a pirate river gnome, or a gnome river pirate, right?
Yeah, nomad pirate. Let's not go forest nomad.
Nomad pirate. Yeah.
I will also expend 25 GP worth of diamond dust and cast non-detection on myself. I will also, with that, use my extend spell.
All right.
So non-detection for 16 hours, and I don't look like a wizard, hopefully, to most.
What about Saphis and Oust?
I mean, Cephis will just kind of drape himself a little heavier than usual. Maybe like put up, put on a turban or something. That's really it.
Sure.
He does not have any particular precautions that he is capable of taking.
And Oust, of course.
I'd imagine I have a big sun hat that I used to wear on the dig site, and other than that, I do very little. I'm assuming that my sort of semi-Chthonian gear that I still had on is probably fine, considering the Chthonian diaspora in the sea.
I see. I think that is fine. I have put the Nomad Levitator here on the map. It might still be loading for you, though.
Yeah, I got it.
You make your way down the River Chthon, and on the left you have the Hinenu Estate. You see large white chalked buildings with red tiled roofs, beautiful gardens and statues of marble and even precious metal. Some of it seems like lots of classy kind of artworks of fruits and androgynous people standing around throwing discs around. Very reminiscent of the kind of legionary way. Do you want to do anything as you pass the?
Yeah.
Or...
Can I just take a look and perhaps with Sophis's and Selden's keen eyes, see if we can kind of spot any sort of heavily disguised defensive features on the outside, or just take a brief kind of sort of inventory of how many guards we can see, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Cephis with his binoculars could do this quite easily.
And before we hit there, I'll ritually cast Detect Magic, and we'll go close to it as we possibly can. I'll also cast See Invisibility on myself to see if there's anything that's strange.
Did you want to?
Actually, you know what? I will also cast True Seeing with my Mystic Arcanum.
I would like to raise my hand and say, are you sure you don't want to give one of those to Cephis, the man who is eyeballs and speed?
I can cast True Seeing on you then.
Yeah, both of those are self spells, so I can't cast that on you.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure I can cast True Seeing on anyone. So that's I will do that on you.
All right, go ahead and cast it.
Sure.
Do you have the material components for it?
That is a good question. I believe. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Otherwise, you might need some of the magicite if you don't have the weird mushroom ointment or whatever.
Maybe we come back and have another look at a later time. Sorry.
Does it have a GP value or?
It does, but I just don't want to waste the magicite for the time being.
How much is the GP value?
25, right?
We have 800 magicite. I'll give it to you. That's fine. We might as well get a gist of what's going on, so at least we have something to talk about when we hook up with our very patient other players.
I hope you guys I enjoy yourself, Jonas and Thea.
Yeah, 25 gold pieces. Yeah.
All right. As you as the magicite turns into this kind of salve in your hands as you cast the spell, you drip it into the eyes of Cephis, whose pupils just expand to fill up the whole eye. So all black eyes. It's like you see everything, Cephis.
This is like a normal Tuesday for me.
The whole you usually are very perceptive. This feels almost like too much. And you roll a nat 20 on the perception.
Yes, I did.
Jeez,
I
that's a 30.
see everything. So natural 20 for a total of 30 with true sight.
In multiple planes.
Yes.
Okay. Things you were not prepared for. Perfect. Okay. So on the head of the state, as you see one kind of it looks like a private river barge on the at the private pier. It has kind of crates and nice furniture on the deck. It is clearly, for you at least, with this extreme amount of perception, you can just see beyond the blankets and the fronts put over it, and you see the ballista underneath, and even a small hand cannon lying somewhere. That is definitely an armed river barge, and on the. And you see 3 sailors just minding their own business on the river barge. One of them is snoring gently inside the cargo holds. The other one is polishing some kind of brass railing, and the third one is looking for the first one. You can almost smell their thoughts. One of them has very bad toe fungal problems. As your eyes start away from the pier up towards the mansion itself, you see irregularities in the facade that looks like kind of arrow slits here and there. If it's not arrow slits, then it's a very expensive house to have irregularities in the facade in. You see other guards, 4 around the house. One of them suffering from halitosis as well. In the buildings around the small courtyard, you see another kind of bunch of guards. So at least 10 more, if you smell correctly, more like 15, and at least one big exotic animal. What is that? Scaly. Weird. Not pretty sure. It's not one of the crocodiles. But that's not something you recognize, at least. Not from the desert.
Cephis, if you need, I could, if we get close enough, within about 60 feet or so, I could try to read the thoughts of one of these creatures.
60 feet would be very,
very
like,
close, yeah.
Probably dangerously close.
Cephis thinks 60 feet might be too close. That would definitely draw attention to our vessel. Yeah, that is the kind of distance you make when you intend to, how do you say it, land?
Oh, and last thing, 2 of the marble statues have kind of joints. They're definitely animated.
All right. Cephis will observe all of these pieces of information, and he will explain them to the party as he sees them. So, in summarization, there was a ballista placement, a cannon placement, arrow slits in the manor itself, and what appears to be 2 animated statues standing by.
Yeah, 10 to 15 guards outside or within sight. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And is there any sight of servants, slaves holding pens where they could be / could have been?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. What do you see? You look around. Servants, yes, but no handlers. The slaves are not here. You're pretty sure about that. There's no one carrying dirty linen. No one carrying food. No smell of oppressed people being huddled together anywhere near that place.
All right.
It smells too clean, soapy, perfumey, very rich.
So Cephis will also convey that detail in that he does not believe the slaves are being held here, or if they were, they no longer are.
Cephis, and please stop me or tell me to shut up if I'm being insensitive, but Do you think you got that creature's scent? Would you be able to recognize it, say, if we went to somewhere with a large amount of animals in the same place? Say a menagerie?
I'm going to ask the DM if Safis actually smelt that creature, or if that was just flavor of the fact he got a natural 20 and was just
No, you smelled the
unbelievable.
creature. You haven't smelled it before. If you smell it again on something you can see, you will know what it is.
Okay, so going so
The
combined to
last
us-
thing you get with is a very pervasive smell of jasmine.
Jasmine. Right. Noted. So going over to turning back to Otz, Safis would be able to identify this creature, yes.
Interesting. Just another thing, maybe, know your enemy and all that. Might
Yes.
be worth checking in.
Would Noggle
Wow.
be able to identify the enemy?
Well, you can't
From-
smell it.
Yeah, from the
can't smell it,
description of
no.
the smell might be a bit tricky.
Oh, is it just smell? We don't see it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for the nat 20 on the true seeing perception check, right?
Yeah, between
Right.
the minute like grooves in the ground that I can see, and like the flecks of scales and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Because once
Yeah.
again, I have the eyes of an eagle right now, which is pretty good.
Yeah, everything is like you can see too much. When you look at Safis, his eyes are all black, right? All right. Let's see. Where do you guys want to go? Put the boat.
Safis thinks just stalking on the far side of Solrak Island, or Sorak Island. Yeah, over by the Curious Bar, or I mean, there. That seems like a good spot for us to dock.
Yes.
Sure.
So is this bar actually curious, or is it called the Curious Bar?
Is it a giant mimic that is curious?
The Curious Bar. Yeah, sure. I will put you by the Curious Bar then. All right. There's the Nomad Levitator. You all dock there as you see people walking around drinking their fill. The streets are completely full of people having a party, going from tavern to tavern. Mostly like young dragonborn and wealthy looking humans and elves in what looks like university student dress are walking around today.
Any nomads?
Not here.
All right. Please let me know if I see any nomads.
I will definitely let you know if you see any nomads.
Thank you.
And with that, we will go to Theus and Bjorn.
Bjorn's
oh,
BRB.
Bjorn is BRB in 5 minutes.
So just for RP, Nongle will just so we kill this this weight. Nongle will scratch his head and look through his book and like shrug and then open up his spell book and then be like, "It's so strange that all these scrying spells and everything you could use to enhance your senses doesn't give you any ability to smell anything. I should look into that in my next research. You can hear things, you can see things, but you can't smell anything with spells."
Good point.
Safis nods, yes. This is interesting.
So
What would
as
that
you
be?
arrive to the party island,
Yes.
you are overwhelmed by the sheer ruckus and the smells of drunken and sweating people everywhere.
Yes, well, this is why Safis does not frequent cities. But nonetheless, let us get going, Guru. Yes, Safis would like to find a place that is relatively quiet.
Relatively quiet on this island. The point
Relatively
was to
quiet
blend
to the
in.
island.
Oh, I see. Well, Safisa, which one is more quiet then? Shield and Scale. There's the Curious Bar. We have the
You know, the Shield and Scale is like a cup bar.
Let's go there. Hide in plain sight, I say.
Yes. Well, anyway, you may go there. No, Safis will be going this way, he says, pointing the opposite direction and heading towards the less scale tavern. Or ale scale tavern, rather.
All right.
If not, I did see a lovely hotel on the way in, but it's not on this island. But no.
No. Safis
Yeah.
also doesn't have money for a lovely hotel. Safis has money for a hotel.
A hotel. So you take your bags and you pack your things and you have nibbles under your arm, Uncle, as you wade through the students just doing keg stands in the street, and there's like lots of wooden mugs being carried, being collected by colored bar helpers, bar people. As you go into the Ale Scale Tavern, you see this orange kind of color scheme everywhere, and you see outside a kind of a picture of a green dragon just doing a thumbs up. And it says, "Welcome to Ale Scale Tavern." And as you come in, you have a green dragonborn people, two green dragonborn bar managers, it seems, running around, and you have a lot of young ladies in human and elven and dragonborn young ladies with let's just say a minimal amount of clothing going around. They're just carrying big trays of beer. They're having flutes in their mouth, so when people are standing too close, they can't hear them, so they'll just blow the whistle, so they get led by all of these people. And there's like lots of bar tables everywhere, and people are just drinking and eating bar food and looking at the scantily clad service. What do you call it? Service workers? Yeah. Around here.
The servers, yeah.
Yeah, servers. You see,
Wait,
like,
are we in the Hooters?
Oh, yeah, the Hooters?
yeah, you're in a fantasy Hooters.
So Nog will say under his breath, just so our big dragonborn friend doesn't hear. They look like a bunch of plucked Aerocrocker.
And as you look at the bar, there's like a big commercial atop that's just say, "Drink Ale Scales, Rathajar's local beer brand."
Well, Safis thinks we have found a place to though. Yes. Let us how do you say, go and find a room to stay in though, or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Let's try not to bring attention to ourselves. Hang on. And I'll Nongle will go somewhere where he can't necessarily be seen, snap his fingers, and make Nibbles disappear.
Pops out of existence.
Fuck you, Nibbles.
So
I was so tempted to cast Enlarge and ride Nibbles in, but I wasn't going to.
In the back of the tavern, there's like a stair going up, and in front of there it says lodgings desk, and there's like a green dragonborn in a vest standing with the back turned towards you.
Safis will approach this man in an attempt to purchase rooms for the evening.
I'll come with.
As you approach, the green dragonborn turns around and says, "Welcome. I am Johnny Alescale."
Johnny Alescale.
Good
He
effort.
looks and he smiles.
Inspiration point for the DM.
He smiles at you with like with the will of a retail worker doing his best.
God, I didn't realize we were staying at a Disney resort. Jesus.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Several rooms for I and my compatriots, exactly 4, and we will need a 5th as more friends of ours will be arriving relatively soon.
Well, let's yes. I mean, firstly, yes. Hello, Mr. Rezka. Let's just check the prices first, surely. You know.
Hey, Sapis thinks you have enough money. Yes.
Shop around. Yes, I do, but I don't exactly want to be the bank.
We also may be held up for quite some time.
Yes,
No,
I also want
exactly.
to check that we are getting the best that we can get for our money. And
Well, if you want if you want our family saver deal, all of you can share a room for 1 silver a night for a 5-person bedroom. No chickens
quite
allowed.
Specifically
Oh,
chicken.
And then he says, if you want a luxurious bedroom, 8 silver per person per night, of course. But that is a Johnny Alescale deal. But if, of course, you are enjoying our local brand Alescale beer, it is always free to be passed out in the back alley.
God, I swear to God, this man must get paid a gold piece every time he says ale scale.
Do you have a suite, particularly something with 6 bedrooms, 6 beds in it?
Separate.
Oh,
rooms.
you mean the Ambassador Deluxe room? Of course,
Yes,
that is our of course our brand deal suite. Yes, for a total of 10 gold, you can have it for the night, but that will not be per person. Of course, we will. And that will include 3 meals a day and all the ale scale beer you can drink between 10 and 12
Sorry,
a.m.
and sorry, I didn't quite catch it. What was the name of the ale again?
Ale scale beer. The rest. Please, do you want the room or not?
Safis appreciates you breaking character, sir. Yes, we will take the room.
Fine.
We'll
Here,
take the room.
sign this. Do you want the expensive one?
Yes.
Wow.
I'll take the
Okay.
expensive
Fine.
one.
Whatever. It just gives you the piece of paper.
Right.
Safis will
You have
sign.
to put down your it says you have to put down your name, your country of origin, and and the duration of your stay, right? So
Mr. Alescale, if you wouldn't mind, we'll be right back with this. Just need to get the names of the rest of the party. You know, just clear up all the legals, passport numbers, etc. Is that all right?
just write in X and I won't look at it. Just get out of my face.
Excellent, good man, and I flick him a gold. Right. Yes,
He looks at that. Whoa. Okay. Do you want me to do the act again, or
No.
Please no. In fact, I'll give you another gold not to.
that's a deal? Go ahead.
Good. Right. There we go. 2 gold.
And also, while we're just dishing out gold pieces here, and you seem quite fascinated with that, my friend, would you mind making sure that we are not disturbed in that room?
You got it, boss. And he kind of gets you over and saying a thing, right? Please, you can't see this, but I'm getting really close to my webcam here.
So am I.
Yeah, you don't. If you really want to drink something nice here, I think that you should definitely go for Grimehards. It's much better. But don't take my but don't say to my grand uncle that I said that. I'll be fired on the spot.
Well, Johnny A. Scale, if that's truly your name, thank you very much.
It's not. It's an act. I mean, I'm wearing the vest. It's a franchise. All right. Yeah. Fine. Thank you, and thank you very much for the tips. I'll make sure no one disturbs you. It's on the top floor. He puts down a bunch of keys.
Snatch them all.
Yeah. Sir
Just-
X, please enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much, my good man. Just for the sake of this, I'm happy to pay for. I don't. Are we paying by the night or are we paying up front?
10 gold per night for the Luxus luxury suite deal, right?
So under term of stay, we'll put to be determined, and then we'll just pay 10 gold every day for there.
I'll put the first day down, and then just for the room.
Yes, but I don't have any money, so you'll have to pay.
Yes, but we're paying day by day. I don't want to overpay. Jesus Christ, we could have stayed in a spa.
Safis would pay. Safis would pay the next day.
A young half-elven girl comes over and takes and gestures to take your bags.
Safis, only having his bag of holding and nothing else, will decline this motion.
So she looks at Oust, I guess, and says, "Sir, do you want me to take your bag, please?"
You're very kind. I'm quite fine, thank you.
All right. Well, suit yourself, sir. And you're left to it as you come into you go up the stairs. On the first floor, you can't smell all the sweaty people. On the second floor, you stop to be able to smell like the puke and the beer. And on the third floor, where your room actually is, it's quite nice. It's the tallest building just in the general vicinity. There's a fresh breeze coming in, and it's almost like you're not inside the party district. Almost.
So once we get up to the suite, I will cast Ascending. I'll send that to Theus. Theus, we are held up at the Alescale Tavern Inn. Speak with Johnny Alescale, as he identifies himself. He's a green dragon at the at the front, and tell him you're with the X party.
the X-Men.
Theus, you know exactly what kind of place the Ale Scale Tavern Inn is.
Never changed in the years.
Nope, it's the same.
Good then.
Next couple of days.
I will.
Is that Theus' answer?
This is exactly his answer.
He doesn't seem very impressed.
I'd imagine in the early mornings of the next couple of days, because he's probably been kept up most of the night, even though he's not sleeping, by just the rowdiness in the district itself. Just kind of walks past the Bronze Flower Hotel every now and again, looks wistfully up, but then just goes back and says, "Good grief, no class at all."
as we will then go from our friends at the Ale Scale Tavern Inn with their suite room with a view to the Ale Scale breweries across the street, and of course all of the it's almost a museum of Ale Scale marketing throughout the ages on the walls in the luxury suite.
Yeah, I'll do
Bjorn-
my best to make it the best friends with Johnny Aleskill as possible. It would be nice to have someone on the inside, right?
Precisely. The trip for you, what is it called? Theus and Bjorn will be around 2 days to get to Rathajar from Fedahajar. Do you want to do anything else on your trip?
Bjorn, do you want to do anything?
Did we talk to all of the people that are still on the boat? How we gonna just like say goodbye to them and then it's all good and done?
Yeah, you set them up with there's like a Kalari caravan site in most of the large cities in the Emirate. So
If
they
that's all settled, then I don't have.
all right. So let's just say that after 2 days of traveling, you arrive at Rathajar. It has been nice weather going for you. Mostly clear, scattered clouds. As you come into to Rathajar, again you see the large limestone buildings rise up on both sides of your ship and both sides of the bay. On the left hand, you see a large military harbor just kind of sticking out into the bay, and in front of you, the largest lighthouse you've seen, made of some red kind of marble stone. It looks like almost. Theus, you recognize Rathajar, and you can instantly hear the people clamoring around and the large kind of humming sound almost of this Hat Island bazaars, just people shouting about their wares and negotiating, trying to turn a profit. And at the right, you see the water garden, or the entrance to the water garden at Usaidra's landing, and beyond that the Plaza of the Nine Winds, where you see people going around kind of taking in the sights. Bjorn, you see this city for the first time. One of the things you really see is that they here in the south also have canals, things that you have only seen before in the north. You see many ships, more ships than you have ever seen in the Battle's End Sea, but of another make. These are not Norse. These are not the dragon ships of your culture. These have tall sails and bright colors everywhere, and there are many of them. A large navy definitely rests somewhere here within this city. You can feel it in your bones.
Cool.
Above you, you see the seagulls shouting down at the fishermen's boats going down in the afternoon sun. Do you guys just strike a course directly to the Ale Scale Tavern, or do you want to do anything else before that?
We're gonna set the.
I
people up.
will
Oh, sorry.
I will put on enough of a disguise that I look like a merchant.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a disguise kit.
So where it is?
But
I
it's
am
not a very
proficient
difficult. It's not a very difficult check too.
I'm proficient in that, but it's a dexterity or intelligence.
Intelligence.
Okay, I will just roll. Let me see. Do I have any intelligence skill? I will just roll Arcana.
All right. So you roll a 12, but that is fine. You look like a merchant. It's not hard to be a convincing merchant in Rathajar. And you set sail towards Solrak Island right away, or what?
As I look in front of me for city, I will say, whisper to myself, traveled around the world, and where did it bring me? Back to this shithole.
All right. Bjorn, do you say anything as you see this? This is maybe the largest city you have ever seen, and as you look over towards it, you see these islands of just tall buildings just kind of growing up, and all beyond that you see cliffs just with just terraces of beautiful plants and flowers and trees in the distance, maybe 2 kilometers away, and on top of that a kind of almost pink garden of trees, and rising from that a limestone and brass castle in the distance, just shining in the afternoon sun, just beautiful. I've never seen so many colored flowers and so many pink trees all at once before.
And I thought the Catonian built beautiful, but this is
You make your way in, and the entrance to the River Hajar. You enter on the Al Hufri Bridge, which is just a large bridge, just spreading over over 200 meters to each side, and on top of it, just buildings and buildings, and you can see artisan shops and glass workers selling their craft, masquerades, clothing stores, all kinds of artisanal goods everywhere. And only people in what looks like kind of rich garb is buying the wares from this place. You see beyond that to the left, you see a big market completely filled with people, with mountains of spice everywhere. And as you sail in on your left side, you see a very large forge just all the way out on the river itself, and you see a red dragonborn woman hammering away on a blade on a forge, just a few inches away from the river. As she hammers on the blade, it glows white hot, and as the blade dims down, she takes a deep breath, and fire from her mouth completely make the blade glow white hot again. And after a few more strikes, she looks at it and inserts it into the water. The river just dissipates around it as it starts to boil, and she looks up, looking at you and nodding towards you and your big empty riverboat as you're going by.
I fight the urge to
you fight the urge to catcall her? Oh well, good job. You sail on, and you find the place where you see the Nomad Levitator being anchored on a pier, and you can start to smell the beer flowing.
Just to check,
wow.
we did cover up all mentions of the slave company on that boat, didn't we?
Yes.
Before we headed off. God, thank Christ.
I assume so, because
right, yeah.
I
would
would
realize we're selling a slave ship in the Hanenu company colours up just straight into the middle of the city. Otherwise, that's fine.
Yeah, you were also lucky you didn't get inspected on your way in.
Yeah.
So, Theus and Bjorn, what do you do?
So this is supposed to be the place, right?
Are you asking me or Theus?
Theus.
It hasn't changed in years, so I assume it is yes. I keep
And you
my
know
head
where
low.
to go?
I currently talk into the clothes that I have wrapped around my head. So it probably sounds a little bit like if I'm talking through cloth.
Like if you're wearing a face mask for some reason.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Who does that?
Social distancing. Important.
So,
So
on the
important.
charge.
Oh yeah, we believe it's very important. Don't add us. You unload your belongings and you make the small walk from the pier to the Ale-Scale Tavern. On the way out, Bjorn, you see one of these large crocodiles carrying around people. Just set off a whole bunch of people going ashore where you are, heading for the bars on Solrak Island.
Is that an act? Theus, look! Circus people!
It's not as fun as you think it is here.
Björn is definitely taking a moment to stop and look. And then he walks with Theus when he's like a few feet away to catch up.
As you go past this merriment district, you see people drinking, shouting. You see kind of parasols and chairs out in the street, and people just having a good time. The Ale-Scale Tavern is the most colorful place you've ever seen. It has
I
weird
love this
drawings of
place.
it. It says, "Welcome to Johnny Ale-Scale's Tavern Inn, the home of the Ale-Scale Brewery's brew."
Look at that guy, Theus! He's throwing up!
There's enough vomit for everyone here, so let's just go to our rooms.
But the bard's the only one not having a good time.
All right, you go into the bar. It's completely filled. Everything is just, the clamoring is so loud. Everything is happening all at once. You make your way through, and you see the desk with the green dragonborn wearing the vests at the end before the stairs to the upper floors. He, as he notices you, that you are looking at him, he stands up straight and puts on a big fake smile and says, "Welcome to Ale-Scale Tavern Inn. What can I do you for? Do you need a place to crash and burn? Ha ha ha!"
What's up with this guy, Theus? This is amazing!
I'd love to just absolute
Remember,
back-
it's
back-
always free to pass out in the back. Ha ha ha!
And he's fun too!
Keep
Excuse
yourself
me, sir.
lively.
You look like someone who would like some of our tunics with the Johnny Ale-Scale logo on front.
Whoa, I sure would!
It's only 2 silver, sir.
Well,
If you pay 3, you'll get this commemorative mark with it. And it's like a very
wow,
cheap
that's
wooden
an
mark.
excellent offer.
I'll take 30.
What happened to all of our money? I thought we were buying a scrying ball.
Bjorn, do you pay the man for merchandise?
I definitely do.
All right, you get a triple XL green tunic that says Ale-Scale Tavern Inn, and it has 2 big eyes underneath it. That's definitely eyes and not breasts, right? And then on the back, it has a big green scale dragonborn just doing the thumbs up. On the mark just has the same logo, kind of badly painted up on the front of it. So,
Are you sure you don't want one, Theus? I'm buying.
I make my way to our rooms.
oh, sorry, sir, I have to see your key. Ha ha ha.
We have people already waiting for us here. We're
Oh,
looking
where?
for a group of people. Gnome, Tabaxi, Elf.
Oh, you're there. Oh, sure. Oh, I should have put on the fucking act. Well, yeah, sure. It's on the top floor. They have your keys.
Thank you, then. I'll
Sure.
make my way up.
Oh, by the way, you, and he points at you, Bjorn. Here, take this, and he like this is on the house, and you see like it's like a big hat, but it has like dragon wings on top, and if you pull a string underneath your chin, the wings they flap.
God, right,
I-
Disneyland. This is fantastic.
I put it right on, and then I follow after.
After a few moments, oust Nongle and Safis, you see Bjorn enter, wearing all ale scale merchandise with an ale scale mug in his hand and the wing hat on, and with him is a figure in merchant's garb that you assume to be Theus.
Oh, Throne.
I love
was-
this place.
What was the other kind of beer that Johnny recommended to us?
Yeah, you
Grime
have
Hard.
like you have a cold box with lots of ale scale beers. It's okay. It's fine.
What's the beer that he said we should drink, though?
It was a
Uh,
Grimeheart, I think.
Yeah, the Grimeheart.
Yeah.
You should go to the Grimeheart Grimeheart's Rest Tavern.
Oh,
Okay.
It's in between the upper and lower Melranth districts. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Excellent stuff.
Oh, yeah, I see
uh,
you settled in quite nicely.
Ost,
Yeah,
Here,
this is
I
amazing.
I take out the rest of the gold, the 197 gold, back with the amulet.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I hope your trip
You can
was all
count.
right.
I used 3 gold from that.
Sorry, how
Anyway-
much was it? 195?
97, it's back.
197. Okie dokie.
I used 3 gold. So what's the current situation?
We splurged for this suite to sleep all of us. Bjorn, you'll be happy to know that during our downtime or investigations of the city, we have unlimited access to alcohol as long as we keep the suite. The suite is 10 gold pieces per night, so this is not cheap, but it is enough to keep us all in one area.
Okay, still we should be aware, like it's good to have fun, but be aware that there are not good people here in this city. And I would prepare if we just keep it on the low.
Yes, we've
Oh.
paid off the you may have met him, Johnny Alescale. He's been paid to be silent, and we've spent the last couple of days making sure that is actually the case.
I'd imagine for the past couple of days I've drank only cocktails, and I just as Fierce says that, I kind of go to Sophis and goes, "Oh, did you hear that, Sophis? Apparently, there's some bad people in the city full of slaves. Who the f- is this?"
Indeed, who would
There
have
are
excited
evils
such
in
a
this world
tragedy?
which are worse than what you currently imagine.
Safi
Yes,
strongly
yes.
disagrees with this. But anyway, we have all arrived, and we have a basic idea of what we plan on doing next.
So what have you been doing for the last 2 days?
Safis, for his part, has been going to any of her public establishments that he is allowed to enter without much cause, attempting to maybe identify that creature, attempting to find any sign of slaves she has for sale, or any like new slaves, or just any sign of his sister in general.
All right. So where do you go to on the first day? If you want to do a complete stakeout, I will say that you can go to 2 places every day, each day, if you're spending like, all of it.
And Nongo will let Safis know as of the second, like the morning of, so I guess the second day that we're there, that he pulls out some bat fur and says that I have prepared a spell that will allow me to invisibly scry in great distances away from me, though it is not quite as powerful as the scrying device itself that we may want to worry about purchasing. This will let us see into different areas. And he's describing the spell Arcane Eye.
Safi thinks it also very prudent for you to go and find some more gems that you could use to make this crystal that you need.
Well, there's plenty of places here. If we could pool together 1,000 pieces of gold, we could easily pick up a scrying device.
Cephas kind of reaches into his bag and holds out a diamond. It's pretty hefty too, like the size of a tennis ball, but not cut. Cephas has been holding onto this for a while. He honestly forgets where he got it. Yeah. But here you go, and it's a diamond worth 500 gold pieces.
Well, this is very, very useful for some of the components of spells I'm able to cast. This could raise the dead, per se. I don't think we should use this to purchase this scrying ball, but this is fantastic.
Nongle, perhaps if you'd join me to the bazaar, we could see if we can offload at least the flail, and then I'll cover the rest.
Oh, good. Yeah, yes, the flail. And if needs be, we have these gloves as well, though I appreciate them. I haven't really found them as much useful. And Cephas, are you willing to give that to Nongle?
The diamond? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so it's a 500 GP diamond. I'll put that in my inventory.
Then it will be removed from my inventory.
All right, so you are going shopping, and Cephas, you are going scouting. So are you starting to go into Henenu Menagerie or the Trade Association, or are you trying to find like more underground location?
Starting with the menagerie in an attempt to identify that creature, and also maybe just find signs there. And he'll spend the whole day there.
All right, so give me first of all a perception check with advantage, an investigation check with advantage, and a stealth check.
So there's the perception check. There is the investigation check, and there's the stealth check. So in order,
Nice.
Cephas received a 27 on perception, a 28 on investigation, and a 19 on investigation, or on stealth rather, which he's actually going to use an inspiration to reroll. So a 29 on stealth.
All right.
Because I have a plus 13 to stealth. The fact that I got less than a 20 is just really bad.
You don't have reliable talent?
No, I don't have 10 levels in Rogue.
Next level.
Mhm.
You, alright, so you blend in completely, and on the perception side you see that there's definitely, like, the menagerie is a big building with like a hollowed out core, and then you have like stories going out on the side walls, and you have big kind of terrariums and cages holding all kinds of of animals and kind of creatures and monsters and all kind of things, and they're all for sale, it would seem. On the top floors, you see a lot of different animals. You do, with your investigation, smell a specific kind of animal, and you see in the prime cage in the middle of everything, large kind of metal enclosure with like magical rods that are just emanating of electricity. You see a very large T-Rex just lounging around inside. This is definitely the same smell that you smelled at the Henenu estate.
Yeah. All right. Noted.
You do see some at some point as you're going around, some of the doors in the ground floor where people are going in and out of the to the cellar or the backstage areas. You do see some people carrying around what looks like food and things. This could be because they have slaves in the back or in the cellars. But it is a menagerie. There could be food for anything.
What is the food?
You do see some fruit, and then you see some kind of animal pellets, like some kind of just brown, grimy, weird food, and then some raw meat. And then just a big pile of bread as well.
Okay.
And then you see, and then just when the door closes, you smell like a faint sniff of jasmine inside.
Noted. All right. Is there anywhere in this building that Cephas, not necessarily being super experienced in this regard, but keeping an eye out for any kind of warding against magical divination? So that is to say, such as Arcane Eye.
Give me an Arcana check, but let's say that because you have rolled so well with your investigation and perception, you can have advantage on that.
Okay. 20. All right.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, Cephas is rolling on fire tonight.
Yeah, you see some kind of wards. They might not be wards against divination specifically, but there are it's pretty common to have magical alarms here and there, right? But
Yeah.
these looks a bit different than what you would see at your normal shop, right?
Okay. Noted.
You might need
Right.
Nongle to identify what kind of wards or magic things are. They might be divining wards. You're not sure.
Yeah. It's just that there are wards present. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that is basic. Assuming that took Cephas the day to kind of figure out, took him a day lounging around and looking around to figure these things out. He will head back to the tavern.
You learned a lot about some of the specific kind of employees and their schedules and how the guards walk around and how the animals are handled. But in the menagerie, the really relevant clues for you is you smell a T-Rex. Yes, a lot of different animals and creatures for sale here. Many different kinds. Some of them more disgusting or disturbing than the other. Some of them are just animals, and there might be something going on in the cellars here. And you smelled the faint smell of jasmine as well.
Noted. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So again, Cephas will now head back to the tavern and wait for the evening where we will all reconnoiter and discuss our goings on for the day.
Sure. Nongle and Oust, you can go to either the Magister's Club, which is an official kind of boarding house for the conventicle people. There you can buy kind of magical things. But if you don't want to be kind of found out, there's also the Genie's Lantern down here, which is a magical item shop that is affiliated with the conventicle but not owned by it. Or otherwise, you could go looking for an interesting merchant somewhere.
Where would Noggle feel the least presence of the actual pillar?
Not in the Magister's Club, that's for sure. The Magister's Club is it's like the Commodore Club, right? It's for traveling wizards specifically on conventicle business.
Okay, so Noggle will obviously recommend we do not go there. The Genie's Lantern is a shop that has some magical items for sale, components especially, and it's close to where these slaves are as well. Possibly we can find out information about how the slave trade is happening here.
Certainly, we probably are we going to try and offload the flail there or somewhere better suited? I'm assuming they buy and sell magical items there.
Anything enchanted, I would assume they would be interested in. Yes.
I'm afraid I do have a bit of a shopping list, but I do also need to go there. So
I'll accompany you.
Excellent. Well, let's go there first. Might as well top up our funds, and then we can work from there.
Excellent. So, over this last day, Noggle is with see invisibility up. Did he see any scrying on him or anything on the party?
Can you say that again, please?
Did Noggle cast the invisibility to make sure that there's no scrying around him, like over the last night or whatever? Did he see anything?
No.
All right, he's not going to worry about casting non-detection then today. But of course he does.
And my blade is going to stay away. So
sure.
Yeah.
I've
got my amulet back on now anyway. So
I always cast magic aura on your blade anyway, so it won't be. It's not magical. Magic can't detect it. So
on the day you go with Cephas some of the way across the Watchman's Bridge and Jimmer's Bridge. You go on to Fail Island, and on there you go through the Great Grain Market. You just see complete mountains of grain everywhere. There's even some place there called the Palace of Grain. This is truly the breadbasket of Cerenar. So much food here, it's unreal.
Oh, if we're doing that, Nongle, if you wouldn't mind, just on the way through, I just thought we'd take care of some more long-term things. Can I find somewhere where I could feasibly? Oh no.
Sorry, I
that's
didn't do
that's a
that.
lot. Can I find somewhere where we can buy rations as well? While we're at it.
Well, of course, it should be easy enough to maintain. We could probably get them directly for free, right from the Ale Scale Tavern and Inn. We're royal guests there.
I'm thinking of slightly more.
you bought the all-inclusive
Preserve.
package.
This is more for if we need to make a quick exit from the city.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
Well, we'll see what's available at the shops.
Yeah.
There is this place here, but let's see what the magic has for us. There could be something that's quite useful there for replenishing food or whatnot.
Oh, certainly, but I'd hate to have to waste magic with just that.
Well, I say our first stop is the Genie's Lantern. We'll see what they have there, and perhaps they have magical rations of some sort. Sorry, I'm very curious on getting there. We'll be walking right back to the grain district, and I'm sure
There's just so many people like bumping into you, like you're going through as you make your way over the El Huafi Bridge. Lots of small shops over on it are just everywhere. With all kinds of wares and artifices you could ever dream of. After that, you go into the spice and food market, and you have to kind of squish your way through throngs of people just shouting about their wares or how much kind of anise they want to buy from each other. You make your way into Tashkil Square, the ironworks market, and you could just smell the iron in the air as people are selling weapons and armor and kind of jewelry and other things. In the end, you see a large kind of blacksmith. It says Slyrek and Al Kubrit Arms and Armor. It is a beautiful kind of blacksmith shop in the end there. As you make your way through Tashkil Square, you go to the Weaver's Square and you see carpets and fabrics and kind of tunics and clothing of all kinds and colors. It is truly a sea of just all the colors of the eye's desire. Some cheap, but many very expensive. And you can just smell the perfumes that the vendors have sprayed over their goods as you make your way through, and you see many fine ladies and lords browsing the wares here, until you make your way over the last bridge, and you see the Genie's Lantern, quite small shop with like kind of a old formed what do you call it? Kind of faded paints and like the image of a blue kind of genie on the sign. Some of the windows have been crushed and is boarded up, but others are lit, and you can see kind of wares stacked inside. You've been here once before, maybe, Nongle, and you're pretty sure it didn't look like this last time you were here.
Well, it looks like they're not just in the business of selling magical items. It looks like they're in the business of creating them as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is harm to the actual place. Give me a few moments before we enter, please.
Give me an intelligence check real quick.
By all means.
Intelligence check?
Yeah.
It'll be a 24.
Oh, a 24. Holy moly. You remember the man there. He was a youngish Magister Superior. Or not Magister Superior, just Magister that instead of doing conventional stuff decided to have his own store. You had a talk with him. He was quite nice actually to you. Alistair.
Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair, you don't quite remember his last name. But he was very proud of the shop that he had bought from someone else. But now it looks like, yeah.
I'll take a few minutes outside to cast detect magic.
All right, please post it in the chat.
Yeah, before we walk in, so that'll be detect magic cast as a ritual. So I'm not gonna consume or place. There we go.
All right, as you cast that in front of the store, it just lights up. It's a magic item store.
Perfect. Good. Well,
While
everything seems to be in check.
Sorry. Whilst he's doing that, can I just take a look around, just check that we're not being followed or anybody's particularly looking at us specifically?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Which I now do with advantage because of... No, it's not. It's a warning shield,
No,
isn't it?
it's a warning shield.
Okay. I'll need some help later on adding that in, but that's fine. Right. So
Did you assume to the shield?
I would have, yes. By this point, but actually no, because I wouldn't have had the shield with me. I'm traveling light today. I'm not wearing armor, and I've not got my shield with me. So that's a 7. So
yeah, you're pretty sure you're not being followed.
Yeah, I also have observant, so my passive is 21 for perception.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people here. There might be some people who have tried to figure out if they could like pickpocket you, but that's it.
Okay,
that's fine.
I should make your way. Do you just make your way in?
Yeah, let's go in. But as soon as I enter in, I'll cast Prestidigitation to remove all my disguise, so I look like Nongol again.
As you come in, you see a man. He looks like the colors have faded from his face, as he's standing, both of his hands just leaning towards the desk. Alistair, the Far Reach was once a vibrant young man that you met, but now he seems like he's just sleepless. He has deep kind of grooves under his eyes as he looks towards you, and he says, "Oh, what can I do for you? Welcome to Genie's Lantern." And then you just hear something crack in the room next to you, and you see like porcelain just being smashed as you hear like a ghostly laughter emanating from the room. And like you get the feeling that Alistair is being taunted from that room.
Is Alistair human?
Don't worry. Shop's haunted. Just come in. What do you need?
Is Alistair human?
Yeah, he's a human. Yeah.
Do I consider this just like I haven't been here in like 50 years kind of thing, or is this like?
No, you haven't been here in a couple of years, but he's clearly sleep deprived.
Can I make a check to see if he's aged from a ghost attack, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you like me to make?
Give me an Arcana check. Yeah, probably won't fail that though.
Okay, so I'm not sure how I do this, but I do have. Hang on. Okay, no, I don't think that would stack. I'm just trying to think of because I have Artificer's Lore, which is a gnomic ability, but I already have advantage to Arcana, so I don't think that's going to stack, right? So I'll just make an Arcana check, and that'll be I only rolled a 9, so 24.
Nope. He doesn't have any kind of ghost ages. He just looks like he hasn't slept in ages. Don't worry, it's just Fred and George. Come in, they don't do anything. To you, at least.
Alistair, last time I saw this place, it was not such in ramshackles. How did you bring these beings about to be?
He pushes his eyes together. Do we know each other? I'll just roll for him quickly. He rolls a nat 1. I'm sorry. Have we had the pleasure?
I'll whisper up to Ost. I guess we should just keep our appearances low then.
Another kind of plate is just smashed as you hear another laughter, like now to the left of you.
Sorry, my good man. Are these is this haunting ailing you somewhat?
Oh, you think? He just looks at you. No humor left. Dealt with? I've tried, but yeah. Turns out some of the items that I got when I bought the place were haunted, and well, it's not like the pillar couldn't figure this out, but they decided not to.
Well, and apologies for being bold, but my companion and I are here to take part in the sale, both forwards and backwards of magical items. Perhaps you might look slightly more favorably on us if we helped with your slight issue.
Can you unhaunt something from an artifact? Because that would be pretty amazing.
I kind of turn to Nong and go, "Can we unhaunt?"
Well, of course we can. What is?
Oh, you're Nongol? Oh, we spoke years ago. Sorry, I just haven't slept for years. Hi, man. And he reaches out with his hand and down and wants to shake yours.
Nongol fist bumps him.
Yeah. Oh, well. Rad. Okay. No,
Sorry,
no.
viruses and such.
Don't worry, man. It's fine. Or it's I guess it's not fine. So it turns out the guy who left me the shop, the genie man, when I bought it from him, he didn't say that he had some poltergeist locked in the foundation of the shop like 20 years ago, and the magic was about to run out. So yeah, Stor's haunted.
Noggle will hold his hand to Alistair. One moment, please, and go over to Austin. Like, ask Austin to lean way down so he can whisper in his ear.
I respectfully crouch rather than lean. Yes.
Though it might seem kind to help him with his problem, we don't need to bring any more attention to ourselves. He does seem desperate enough where I don't think anyone will believe him in his crazy stares. My heart would say help him with this ghostly problem, but I don't know how easy or how time-consuming that would be. Perhaps this is something we bring the entire party to. But
oh man, it's the same with all of you adventure types when you come in here. Yeah, it would be nice if you could help. No, I don't think you can. You see, it's a genie who conjured this kind of foundation here. And because they were dealing with otherworldly magic, you can't dispel it because it's divine and alien and weird in nature. But if you buy
a religion check on this to see if I know what he's talking about and how to dispel that,
yeah, go ahead.
Because that's kind of my forte, right? Oh, all right. So religion, I rolled a 29.
Yeah, this kind of wish he's talking about that was made, you need a wish to undo that.
All right.
Oh, well, yeah, no, we're fucked. Okay.
Yes, we can't help it.
I really appreciate it, though, but and another plate smashes on the ground and another lever. But yeah.
So you're still looking for business, though, I assume?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, just please don't laugh at me as much as they do about the basalt pillar, will you, please?
No, I shouldn't do that.
Right. Well,
we're looking for a divination source, a component, a scrying ball, or a mirror if you have one.
Oh yeah, that's in the locked boxes because otherwise these guys, and he points to the empty air, they will just throw it everywhere. Oh, by the way, before we continue, and he points to you, Aus, your shoelaces, they've tied them together, so you might want to.
Oh, good. It's like just being with the rest of the party, isn't it? There we go. Well, I'll sort those in a second. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, carry on. I'll retie these, I guess.
He takes you. He takes you into like a side room, another kind of plate. It looks like he have bought a lot of plates just so they will get smashed instead of his merchandise, right? He opens up a big chest, and inside there's like a crystal ball. And as he takes it out of the chest, he quickly sits on it, so they won't open the chest. And then he's like holding on to the crystal ball, trying not to. No, it's not for you. It's not for you. And he's like pushes the poltergeist away. All right, sure. So this beautiful little one here will run you 1,000 gold pieces.
Good. Well, we're short on cash, but we do have trade.
You don't know how much that would be. It would be great for me if I could have the money, though. It would. I have just that they have like the customers do not like me. I am so behind on taxes.
Perhaps a mixture, then. Perhaps. Tell me, good sir. Could you perhaps value this for us, and so we can just establish its worth? Mr. Nongle, perhaps you'd like to maybe keep a good hand on it, but show the gentleman what we have to offer.
Yes, we have a magical flail that is. The enchantment is small but still effective, and we also have these. And I show him the gauntlets. I assume if you're just looking for gold, there are ironworkers around this place. Perhaps they would be interested in strength for their steel and magical steel as well. Perhaps we could sell this to them if you could tell us a reasonable price and bring you back the money for the crystal ball.
Do you take up the flail and show him?
No, I tell him about the flail and I show him the gauntlets. I'm not taking them out for him.
Oh yeah, I don't buy weapons, not after what happened. But I'll gladly take your money. No, yeah, I have all of the things I had to get rid of. That was That was my cat. She died. Yeah.
What? But, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well. Oh no, you don't. And he like takes the. Please, do you want to buy it? Because I don't know for how long I can keep on to it.
Yes. But
Put it away.
could
Put it away for the moment. We'll come back for it. I think.
Yes,
Okay,
could
will you
you-
please help me close the box quickly?
Of course.
Not
And
Nongle.
Paul loses his massive strength.
Yeah.
Wow, you really become ripped. What have you been working out or something?
It's the
He's been
gauntlets.
lifting.
Yes, lifting.
All right.
They call him a
Well,
muscle wizard now.
a muscle
Yes.
wizard? Far out, man. He just looks completely blazed. Like he doesn't. All right. So, yeah, sure. What do you have to trade in? Sorry, I don't do weapons. That's too dangerous. I don't want
No,
stuff.
I understand,
Okay.
but there are many arms dealers inside the same square that you're in. Perhaps you could point us in their direction. We'll sell them the gauntlets and them the flail as well, and come back and bring you cash as you asked for, so you're not so behind in your taxes.
Like casually grabs a snow globe and put it back on its shelf and says,
Why do
Sure.
you have snow globes out in the open? Those are the first things I would smash if I was a poltergeist. Anyways,
only the cheap things. That's the yeah. It's so expensive to have this place. He looks at you. Sorry, you were saying something about weaponsmiths.
yes, would someone be interested in purchasing the flail that I did describe to you, and possibly these gauntlets that would, well, I mean, if you're pounding out steel, high strength would be important.
Well, you will probably. I think the only blacksmith that has a license for that kind of thing would be Styric and Alcubirid on the other side of the Tashkill Square.
Excellent. We'll go and see them, and we'll be back
Lovely.
very shortly, Alistair.
Just before we leave, I take it you're also in the business of selling components for other things as well, all of a lower cost.
Only things that doesn't break easily. Trash, another plate like goes down.
I don't believe you can break saffron too easily.
Saffron.
Yes.
Well,
If
why
not, I
don't
can
you
buy
go
it
to
up
the
in the
spice
garden.
market?
Good point. Tourist. What can I say? Well, we'll
Oh,
be back
that's
in a
fine,
jiffy.
man. Oh well, if I had anything, like I have some in my kitchen if you need it.
No. It's
Do you
fine.
know
I'll
how
buy in bulk.
exhausting it is to have to lock everything?
I'm sure it is.
Alright,
Anyway,
you
Nongle, shall we?
make your way up to Styrex's arms and armor, and you get how much do you get for that kind of uncommon item? 400 gold. Yeah, 400 gold.
Sure. And what
Just
about
to-
the gauntlets?
Quicken it along a little bit. The gauntlets you could get the same amount of money for.
400 for gauntlets of ogre power?
Can I try and
I guess they are.
just like,
kind of.
surely
Yeah, uncommon.
you know the increase in efficiency on these kind of made by this kind of item, these gauntlets is now invaluable. Surely 400 isn't the most you could stretch to.
The red scale dragonborn looks at you. The woman says, "Right, I'm not really in the mood for doing any kind of haggling with you. You can get 400 for both of you. Get out of my face. That's how it is, okay?"
Well, one moment. How about this? You have materials that you need to turn into other materials. If I could provide that service for you magically for a price, what would that be worth to you? And I'm speaking about the fabricate spell. If I was to help them along with their chores with fabricate, would that be worth something to them? I'll post the spell.
Nongle, how
Yes?
likely are we to return here? Just as two.
To return here, well, if we're looking to purchase arms and equipment, or
If
magical
you
items,
can't do that because you can't use it to create items that ordinarily require a high degree of craftsmanship unless you're proficient in it. So I guess you could use the things so you could get smith's tools. Yeah.
So
Sure.
and I could create like sword-shaped items or whatever, and then they can sharpen them or whatnot. But I can increase. I could like one cast of fabricate would be like days of work for them, right?
She'll give you 100 gold for that as well,
Okay.
which is a lot of money, right?
If
Yeah,
we sell all of them, then it's 900 gold pieces.
that's correct.
All
But I
right,
think
let's not make any enemies, I guess.
I don't think the gauntlets are worth giving up for 400 gold pieces, though.
I think we can get more. Yes.
Yes, the flail, that's not an issue, but 500 gold, do we have enough to purchase the crystal ball then?
Easily, but maybe we can offload some of the gems.
Good. Excuse me, Cyrock, do you purchase gems as well?
I've got a feeling she does. but-
No, I do things that stab people, not things that look pretty on people.
well,
Like I wear them myself, but I don't want your things.
Very well.
Perhaps the Jawara Square luxury goods market for that kind of thing. Well,
Yeah.
very well. Was it 500 gold for the flail and the materials? Is that correct?
Sure. And she takes the flail, and Noggle comes back out and does his thing, and
10 minutes later, I cast Fabricate.
and lots of things like just jump into shape, and metal warms up and bends, and everything is beautiful. After that, you go to the jewel luxury good market, and you sell like the jewels and the precious stones that you have. And I guess you come back to the genie's lantern. Is that it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are we selling all of those at cost in here?
No, it's the same value that I put you.
Yeah,
Put in there.
that's what I
So.
meant. Okay, so that's 10, 20, 30...
270 in total.
270. Okay, right, cool.
As you enter the
fine.
genie's lantern for the second time, you see Alistair standing. His pants has been dragged down between his knees, and he's just standing up saying, "Yeah, right. Very funny, George. This is the fourth time today. Can't you find anything good to do? I'm honestly getting a little bored by you guys. You're poltergeist. It's not supposed to." Oh, yes. Sorry about that. And he pulls up his pants, and another plate is smashed. So, did you sell the weapons? You don't have it with you right now, right?
No, we do not carry it with us
gold.
at this point, but we do have gold pieces for you.
Far out. All right, cool. Sure. Will you help me with the box again?
Of course.
And he goes in, you get the box, and he says, "All right, grab this, quick!" And I guess Noggle grabs the crystal ball, and you're dragged off your feet into the air, and you're being spun around for a couple of minutes before you all of you manage to get you back down. Sure, all right. I'm sorry about that. Let's call it 995, shall we?
Oh, very well then.
Sure. Yes. How much gold do we get from all of that, Nongle?
The 500 from the flail and the casting and fabrication, 270 from the gemstones. So that's 770. So if we have 230 gold pieces of coinage, then we should be good.
230 it is. I'll pay for that out of pocket.
Oh, sorry, 225, as he said. The
225.
only cost us
It is,
995. Yes.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'll drop 225 on that then.
I will add a
Beautiful.
crystal
From my
ball
own
to
money.
my inventory.
That is beautiful. All right, so you've been around shopping.
That took a
for that.
fucking while.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
No, it's good. I love it, but it's you expect us to go in there and be like, "Oh, trade this, trade that." But I the smashing plates was fucking hilarious. That's great.
good to hear.
Snow globe, I didn't see that coming though, Roar. That was great.
You, yeah.
I was going to say, right, Nongle, if I give you some more cash, would you be able to pick some things up for me? I think I've got some more errands that I may need to do. But further into the city.
Yes, of course. What would you like?
Well, and I will hand him 50 gold pieces. Could you pick up maybe 100 rations for that?
I don't see why not.
And then I'll give him another 100 gold pieces. Saffron, if you could, 100 gold's worth. And then 20 gold, just as much wine as you can get with them. Thank you.
Wine.
Yes.
In this area, I'm sure we could find this in Party Island. I'll beat you back there then.
No. Let's not buy the wine from the cheap area. Let's buy it from the slightly nicer area on the way to the cheap area.
Oh, very well.
Thank you. Okay. Right. If I'm not back in, well, let's say by nightfall. I don't know.
I'll say let's say the first day, and you sleeping and settling in makes it so that it all fits with Bjorn and Thea's arriving the next morning.
Perfect.
So you tell them about the magic shop and the haunting, and about the menagerie.
Can I? What were the ghosts' names again?
Fred and George, like the
Fred
twins
and
in Harry
George,
Potter.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, in that case, on the second day, I'll go and do the extra bit that I need to do.
Oh, but on the second day, in the
Yeah, once they've
in-
arrived, but that's
yeah.
fine.
So you tell them about these experiences, and we're back at the like the living room of the all-inclusive executive suite of the Ale Scale Tavern Inn, where Bjorn is standing with his winged hat.
I mean, lovely hat, Bjorn.
Bjorn,
Well,
drinks, let's go!
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. I was thinking that I'm just gonna drink a couple of beers and walk around the party area. It seems like you got all the investigation part covered, so I don't know. Maybe you need me for something. Otherwise, I love this. I'm gonna take one of the minibar beers and chug away.
It's very thin. Like it's not as strong as you're used to. This will definitely take a while if you want to get drunk from this.
It's a BL.
Yeah.
The water
yeah.
here is amazing.
I will. I'll tell Bjorn to put a bottle up to his mouth and get ready for a lot of beer.
Okay.
And then I'll cast Enlarge on the beer itself. And this should make it 8 times the actual amount of beer that comes out of that bottle.
So it's like 4 liters of beer instead of half a liter, right?
Yeah.
You just like your stomach is just completely stretched out as you drink most of the 4 liters of beer just rushing down your throat.
We're good. It's really good.
Iconic.
All right, Bjorn. We do have things to discuss, but first let's take a moment to. First of all, I'll take all the shit out of the bag of holding, right? And you can just see Nibbles is pissed off that I had to throw away a bunch of his stones to carry all these rations. Or whatever. He's very pissed off that I had to do this. But I get your saffron, I get the rations out.
As you do that, you see like a very clear like sign on the wall. It is just like the frame of a chicken, and then just a big red X over it, and it says "No chickens."
Does
That's
it
fine.
conjure out of nowhere, or is it
No,
just...
no. It has been there since you arrived.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
I said, no one talk about Nibbles. I'll make him disappear when I need to, but when I'm playing with a bag of holding, he needs to be there, or else he gets upset with me. Shut up, Nibbles! So I'll dump all that stuff out, and then I'll say, I will take Bjorn and show him around in some of the sights on this island, and we will meet back for dinner.
Very well.
Certainly. In which case, Sophis, perhaps you'd join me for some reconnaissance later in the evening.
Certainly.
What is Theus doing?
He's sitting in the room. Wait a second, I will check something. Let's see if I can do this.
Holy fuck.
Alright. He will come out of this room just to check and just go around the area, not entering the area. Around Hazenite. Just circling around. Just watching. Just to see, like, did it change over the years?
Well, there's definitely more people. It seems like there's more people in the party district than you remember. But you've never really partied much, have you, Theus?
Not really.
No, not really. So it has always been quite an alien side to you. So you're not sure if it's just being close in this way that's different, but it seems like there's more kind of students or kind of tourists here just partying. Are you just on in the Solrag Island, or are you going somewhere else as well?
No, I said around the Hazenite area.
All right, the Hazenite area. As you walk through.
Hazenari.
Oh, the Hasenari district. All right. So as you're going up to the north, you
Not
see
into, just on the outside.
just
not
on the outside. All right. So you go up towards the Queen's Pentagon, where you see the large library building, the big kind of marble facade of it, almost too bright to look at in the sun. And on the other side, you see the traditional kind of carpets and the colorful silks and fabrics hanging from all the storefronts in Hasenari, and you see the boardwalk kind of cafes where people are smoking shishas and drinking tea and discussing philosophy, probably. It looks peaceful, like it's a very kind of cultured place. If it's changed, maybe not. Maybe a little bit. I don't. Give me a perception check, real quick.
Also stealth? Just I want to be stealthy.
Give me a stealth as well, yeah. As you roll a nat 1 on your perception.
24 on stealth.
24 on stealth, okay. Why is this place so hard for you to focus on when you're looking at it? Why is this place so difficult for you, Theus? It's like when you look at it.
Memories. I don't want to look at that. I take some look at it, just on the outskirts, try to hide myself. I get disgusted when I look at it for more than 5 seconds. I turn around and walk back to the...
All right. You walk back, and it's giving you the creeps. There's just so many things.
I would describe it that way too.
Give me another perception check, please, as you're walking away from it. A 15. You don't really see anything, but it's like you saw like a person that you recognized, like an older man with a big white beard, just walking along the Marblestone Boulevard, just as the last thing as you turn around. But when you look back, no, not that person. You haven't seen them before. That's for sure.
I look around. I'm still like stealthy, right?
Yeah, you're pretty stealthy. You're blending in at least, right?
I point my middle finger towards Hasenari district and walk back.
As you flip the Hasenari district, the bird, you walk back through the rows of houses on the other side of the Queen's Pentagon. Here is a very expensive place to live, and you see like gold-plated pictures of the Golden Dragon, Usaid Ra, the founder of the city. You go back over the Drunkard's Bridge. You make sure you don't step in anything nasty as you go back. Do you want to do anything else as you're just looking around these?
I wait. I think I stay away from the windows in the room.
All right. And Bjorn, you wanted to go drinking.
Yeah, unless Nuncle showing me the sights.
Noggle's basically showing you the island, the party island or whatever, and just he sees how excited you are. He's just trying to keep you kind of around the party, right? So we'll stay at the Ale Scale Tavern, and I'll, get him pickled if I can.
I indulge in the keg stands and the drinking games and all the stupid tourist traps, and I talk to strangers on the streets. All the things that the other tourists are doing.
Please roll me a D20 from the vendor.
Thing that is against like us or what we're doing here. I will try to silence him as quickly as possible.
If you what?
If he tries to say anything again, I don't want him to give away our position, but I want him to have fun because we need a happy barbarian, or else we're not going to have a good time.
All right, so I will say, go with D20. So a 3 for your bender, how it is. All right, then both of you, I'll say, give me a Constitution check with disadvantage because you rolled so low on the luck check.
Both of us?
Yes.
Oh shit! Okay, all right. Ongo rolls a 12.
All right. The hours drag on, and in the start, you're good at like kind of shushing Bjorn when he's getting mouths and even like correcting him when he's getting a bit handsy with the maids, right? But after a few hours, like you start getting a few drinks as well, and Bjorn, you see Nongle getting drunk quite a bit faster than you are, so he's gaining on you quick. How do you react to this?
I'm excited. I show people off that I can carry him around on my shoulders and and for the first time I'm really happy to have like someone to show to other people that I'm like forming some kind of relationship with.
Noggle, you're having a blast. How long ago was it since you was you were really drunk?
Like at least a few years ago. Like he gets tipsy occasionally, but it's only when he's really frustrated at like learning a new spell or trying to figure something out does he get wasted when he's trying to figure it out.
Guys,
in the party scene, he's never done this before. He's never gotten drunk with someone to party with them before.
Bjorn, do you go all out drinking?
Well, I'm gonna be really drunk at the end, and I'm gonna carry Nongle around when he's passed out. I'm gonna try to tell people that we're definitely brothers. Can't you see all the similarities and stuff like that?
Noggle will try to pick up Bjorn with his gauntlets, right? Try to show them we are very strong.
It's so beautiful. I decided to roll a d20 here for your opponents in the city, and they roll low, so that's good for you guys. You have this kind of you get out around noon, and you are shit-faced by early afternoon, and you just keep partying. So you have like flashes of what happens, like Bjorn like holding Nongle upside down in one hand as Nongle uses the gauntlets of ogre power to just like drink from a keg straight. You're buying like more merchandise as you are having like kind of bead necklaces, and you're like trying to hold each other steady as some guy is trying to like whack a picture of you in a plate of slate. Another point, you're just standing outside a kebab shop, just trying not to throw up as you get some food, and then you continue drinking, and you're like skinny dipping in the canals at night, and getting
add a picture to that montage. It's the exact same as Nongle holding. I was holding Nongle upside down. The exact same thing he's doing later on.
Yeah, was I doing Bjorn? For a kick. All right. So, you guys return home very late. Bjorn, you are wearing all kinds of merchandise. You have like so many beads on you, like bead necklaces and like a couple of sunglasses with like ale scale breweries on it, and just like a winged hat, but of a different color because you traded it with someone else, and you're just hammered. You have half a kebab like in your pocket, as you are like just dragging Nongle up the stairs towards your through.
For flavor, Nongle's on a floating disc, passed out.
just passed out. Nongle, you have like lipstick marks all over your face that you don't remember from whom.
Oh no, it was an apport.
Is someone up as Nongle and Bjorn returns? Like 2 in the night.
Sorry, was it?
Is one of you others? Are you still up as Bjorn and Nongle return at 2-3 o'clock in the night?
Well, if it's in the evening, I'd imagine that I've probably crept out.
Nibbles is probably looking to see where the fuck Nongle is, if it helps.
I sleep. I can't sleep.
We're banging on the door, like, Sad.
Of course, you forgot the keys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who? So Oust, you're out sneaking about. Saphis as well, or
if he wants to join me.
What was the plan?
I want to go and scout out some of the areas that are more predominantly ex-Legion, and just look at and sort of just look into kind of the certain dives, specifically the areas which might be slightly more unsympathetic towards the Imperium. I should also note. I will also note I am leaving my locket of against detection or whatever it's called at the Ale Scale brewery, so I can be I can be scried upon if needs be. If we don't come back for whatever reason. But yeah, so I think, did we mention previously it was in the slums? I'd imagine that's where the more down on their luck legionnaires are going to have ended up. So
yeah, like so we have this. All of this island up here is called Chthonian Minor, so that's like the home of the largest amount of like Chthonian remnants. You might find some ex-legionnaires, maybe in Eastreach or even in the townships outside, if they have been really down on their luck.
So yeah, Surface will lead the way to what he thinks is the kind of neighborhood that Out's just looking for.
Yeah.
So what are you guys looking for again? Like you're looking for down on the luck legionnaires who might be likely allies to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking to just establish contacts. Basically, I want the kind of the mixture of ex-legionnaires who are not sympathetic to the Imperium, but might be sort of open to some more clandestine dealings.
All right. Well, we will have a check about that. What about is Theus doing anything else during that day? Just before we resolve the last things here.
He is doing his. After walking outside, he will sometimes glance outside the windows, and just to see if anyone is like watching, like essentially paranoid, watching if anyone is watching them. Otherwise, he has a lot to think about. He will try his best to stay inside of in the room.
Sure.
And he seemingly can sleep, even though it might be not the best sleep that he got.
So, like, you've been twisting and turning, but in the end, you managed to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And maybe a few hours after that, actually, you succeed at falling asleep, you just hear Bjorn hammering the door. What is stupidly drunk Bjorn yelling outside?
Chicken, open the door. God, is this our room? Theus, I need. Oh, there's my kebab. I'm all good.
He clearly can't get the door open, please.
Go on, just throw me through the door. I have the constitution for it.
But you're too fast, I can't catch you.
I'm just laying on this disc, I'm not even moving.
Oh my god, then it's the room. That's too fast.
Stop! You're moving quickly as well! Oh, brother!
I swear there was a chicken before.
Hang on! I think I can do it. I'll concentrate and try to... I'll do this at disadvantage to see if I can summon the chicken. 9, no. And I dropped the the floating disc and fall on the floor. Ow! The floor is hard!
Please, are you doing anything as you hear this cavalcade of uselessness outside?
I sadly do not have silence prepared, so I grumpily stand up, open the door, see them being deadly drunk, take one of the decanters of water that's probably like somewhere in the room. I think about giving them a glass of water, decide against it, and just like pour the whole decanter over the head.
As you pour the decanter over Bjorn's head, you just see like street meat and lettuce on his front just go away. And at that moment, as you look at Nongle just lying on the floor behind him, you notice that Nongle's hair has been cut, and now he has like a Guy Fieri style, the frosted tips hairdo. Tanner, I'll let you decide if that's an illusion or not. But that's definitely is what Nongle looks like right now in his drunken state.
Yeah, that's... I'll say with magic he can bring it back, but no, that's real.
That's real. Do you want to water Nongle as well?
Actually, do we have a bath here?
Yes, you do have a
Okay,
bathroom.
I will let in some water and then dunk Nongle into the bath tube.
Nongle, you're peacefully asleep on the staircase, and then all of a sudden you're just ripped up and carried into a bathtub of water, of cold water.
It's cold water. It's cold water. It's not warm at all.
All right, so as soon as that happens, I cast Dimension Door. As soon as I hit the water, cast Dimension Door reactively, and then just appear like at the front door again.
Seeing that, I try to drag. I'm not the strongest. I slap Bjorn a few times and say, "Come in, go to sleep. We have a long day ahead of us."
Wait, I promised someone I'd do this. And you could see that Nongle's reaching into his bag very drunkenly and pulls out some bat guano.
Theus, you know what bat guano is used for.
I still have the decanter of water and just pour it over the hand of bat guano, so that it slowly goes into like this like brackish, brownish, watery, stinky bat guano. Puddle is now he's essentially laying in shit. In like watery bat guano. Smells terrible.
Somehow carrying around bad shit turned against you, Nongle.
Fuck!
Nongle, if you're not coming in and sleep, I will close the door and I won't let you in.
Brother, are we going to sleep now?
We love
I
to
cast
sleep.
suggestion on Bjorn.
He fails to
Bjorn,
say.
can I cast suggestion on you?
Sure.
Sure!
Okay, please make a save.
He's gonna fail. Bjorn is gonna fail. no, almost no matter
If he doesn't, though,
what.
it's going to be glorious.
Suggestion is wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, I suggest him that he will sleep for 8 hours, and if at any time Nongle is gonna make a ruckus, he will kick him down the stairways.
Oh no!
I love your idea. I love this place.
Don't kick me!
I'm gonna lay down. Shh. I'm gonna kick if you don't make a. I'm gonna lay down.
Nongle's upset at this, but then sees Nibbles and just goes and gives him a bear hug and is like, "I miss you so much, chicken."
You have two choices: either you come in and go to sleep, I will change the suggestion that he will really kick you down the stairway.
I can do that too. Wait, no. Maybe I'm gonna go to sleep.
You succeed, Theus.
And but before I do that, I'm gonna attempt to read thoughts on Theus to see if he actually hates me or not, because my subconscious is growing. Do you allow?
Okay. What's the save?
It's a wisdom save.
Okay, 3. Yeah, I don't hate you. I
Okay.
am just tired and scared. Very scared.
Okay.
Probably the most scared that you have seen, like red tears.
Okay. So with read thoughts, I will also suggest that maybe he just removes me and doesn't kick me down the stairs.
Okay. This is another save?
No. If you fail the first save, it automatically you automatically get targeted by my suggestion spell.
Oh, okay.
And then
Alright.
he will take off some Mardi Gras beads that he got, and he'll put them on Theus and say, "You're pretty cool. I'm going to sleep. Check in."
Noggle,
Good night,
Noggle,
Nongo. Good night, Bjorn.
Noggle, you're the only one who
Nice.
doesn't have inspiration, so you're getting one again. Good job.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You all go to sleep, and you guys are going to have a horrible hangover tomorrow.
right.
Maybe. We'll see. DC 15 can't save. Let's see here. All right, so...
I use my inspiration pretty quick then.
Let's see.
Oh, safe.
Yeah, Bjorn, you're feeling completely perfect the next day.
Oh, this was, but yeah.
Noggle?
Oh, wow.
I think the dice that
Natural
you're rolling
one.
in that one. Don't use your
That's a four.
inspiration. I want to see you roleplay that hangover. The
Okay.
first real bender you've had in years. Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Safis and Oust, you're sneaking out.
Sure.
So yeah, I want to just try and find probably a meeting place. So whether it's like some kind of like sort of food hall for kind of the down and outs, or whether it's a dive bar, anything where there's like a large large congregations of like these ex-legionary types.
All right, let's see here. Safis, give me a history check, please.
Did that roll?
Yes,
There
it
it
did.
is. 12 total.
Dodgy legionnaires. Most of those are hired by the Henenu, kind of a trade association. You don't really know of any place. You could go into Catonia Minor and have a look around there. There's a few dive bars there.
Yeah, I will recommend these locales as we go along.
Lead the way.
You go across Solrak Island. You take out after dark, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah,
Understood?
Yeah.
As you're walking out through Solrak Island, people are drinking. It's around maybe 8 o'clock in the evening. You see Noggle holding Bjorn upside down as he's drinking a keg of beer.
Well, that'll be interesting in the morning.
Yes, certainly.
If you put lipstick on and kiss Nongle, it'll be canon, so. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
You
I'll go all the way back.
you go across to the Watchman's Bridge, and you see the aquarium to your left, which has a big kind of park almost with like large ponds of aquatic creatures, and on your right the zoological garden kind of spreads out a bit behind walls, and you can see a few of the cages inside, and some people like feeding feeding the animals as the zoo is closing up for the night. You cross that plaza there, and you go across Arena View Bridge. To the left, you see the large kind of oval arena to your left hand. You can see lights coming up from the top as you hear like the shouts of the people inside watching whatever sport is going on tonight. In front of you, you see Forum Hajagensis. And this is where it gets weird. As the sandstone tile, kind of cobblestone beneath, is set up with the regular square gray kind of tile stones of the Chthonian Imperium, and marble columns are kind of lining the more pompous buildings at the forum. You see closed up stalls for the night, and like a few blacksmiths from the Gladiator Superior weaponsmith over here, like kind of closing up shop. The Imperial Tower is still open, but it looks like it's just open for whoever needs the help of any member of the Conventicle.
Okay.
A few people are walking around, but right here is pretty cozy. You know that you need to go a bit further into some alleyways to find some of the dive bars of the Chthonian working class, so to speak.
Okay.
I will continue to lead Ost until we find one such locale, and then I'll let him take the lead since he seems to have a plan here.
All right. Do you do anything as you see this eerily home away from home kind of place?
I probably kind of sort of half turn my nose up at it, sort of like there's a bad smell kind of around, and sort of mildly uncomfortable with it's a very sarcastic kind of non-verbal home sweet home, but yeah, it's like okay, fair enough. And it kind of turns to this is that you would have thought if they don't particularly like the Imperium anymore, they wouldn't make it look so much bloody like it, but fair enough.
Yeah, some piece would agree, but yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully it's not the Imperium itself, but more the ruling class. But anyway, here looks good enough.
This doesn't look like a too poor district. It doesn't look like the ruling class either, but upper middle class for sure. So citizens,
okay, so we'd have to
citizens stock. But again, alleyways are alleyways. You can definitely find some people.
Yeah, we probably want to go a bit further in. So I don't want any. Because assuming they were legionaries at the time, then they wouldn't be citizens now, because
Precisely.
they wouldn't have had any kind of passing out ceremony. So yeah. So I want to go deep in. I want to try and find the kind of areas where the people who were legionaries when they got abandoned here are like, yeah, still kind of that level.
All right. As you go in, you pass the Silks on Silks weaveries, and you pass the stately Imperator Hotel. And as you walk in through some of the alleyways in the bowels of Cathonia Minor, you do end up finding a tavern or a bar called Tectum Augustum Sirasus, which you translate out to the Stately Cherry.
Fine by me. We'll see how stately it is when we're inside, shall we?
Lead the way.
As you come in, this is it's not the dirtiest pub you've ever seen, right? It's decent. Like you might eat the nuts on the bar counter without thinking too much about it.
But you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Definitely not. Yeah. You see, like everything is like painted white and with like red kind of fabrics here and there in the traditional like Chthonic or Chthonian tradition, and at one of the walls you see an armor stand with kind of a Lorica Segmenta and a legionary's helmet on it. The bartender is kind of washing a glass. A few kind of beers on tap in the bar as he looks at you. Ave. few customers, like mostly men, a few women of Chthonian elves, it looks like, and a few half elves. Looks up at you and like nods, but it's mostly quiet, and there's no one loud in here. People are just talking, playing dice. A few laughs here and there, and some pipes are being smoked, but not too many.
Okay. I think I'd probably find a table near kind of the most vocal group, and kind of sort of just before sitting down, kind of put sort of 2 fingers up at the barman, indicating I want 2 drinks rather than that I'm throwing the V's up at him. But yeah, just kind of ordering 2 of whatever they've got over to the table, and then kind of sit down and begin just eavesdropping, at least for the time being.
Is Safis the only tabaxi here? Or more to the point, is he the only not elf / half elf here?
Yeah, he is. But it's not like you're not getting the stink eye.
Yeah, it's just notable that Safis is very clearly not a Chthonian.
Yeah, sometimes with some of the Chthonians you've met, race has been a problem, but it doesn't seem like they might not give a shit, which is not necessarily better than than not, right?
Yeah.
So you sit down on like a 2-person stall, I guess, and a moment goes over, and the barman arrives with 2 ale scale brew beers in front of you. There'll be 2 copper, please.
I give him a silver. Just going, much appreciated.
Wow, that's thank you. He gestures the look over, and he gets a 14 on his perception check. Does he recognize anything on your about Oust? Like, you can definitely see that you're Chthonian, right? So
yeah, I'm probably not wearing. He can see that because I am wearing some of the stuff, but I'm probably wearing underclothes for the most part. I'm wearing elements of the Lorica. Sort of basically what constitutes my breastplate for the most part. And there are elements of my legionary stuff on me, but I'm by no means wearing full stuff, and I'm by no means drawing attention to the fact that I am Legion or ex-Legion. But it's enough for somebody to be casting an eye over me to realise.
Would an old NCO recognize you as an officer or not? Like, you get to decide this. He didn't roll too high, so you decide.
Not by bearing alone.
All right, so.
And I'd say that Alce probably wasn't giving a particularly officerly bearing whilst he was in here. He's kind of more just trying to maintain the image of the common man.
First of all, he looks at you and he says, never mind. He takes away the ale scale brews. This, I'll get you something decent. And he goes behind the bar. He gets like two pints of some kind of beer. This is some of our local stuff here.
Thank you.
So, cheers.
The normal.
Well,
cheers.
Yeah, the franchise shit. Don't do it, sir.
How old does this guy look as well?
Older than you, maybe 400.
Okay.
So, what outfit you're in?
Oh fuck! What outfit was I in? I don't even remind myself.
I can find the notes here.
I'd imagine it's going to be the same as the rest of my family, so it would be the 24th, right?
24th, yeah, but you were, the 24th. But you were probably, in some kind of archaeological detachment, which is not really a legion per se. But you could just say the 24th if you want to.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, once upon a time, auxiliary of the 24th, but well, you know how things are.
All right. Well, 36 myself. Well, until this old thing happened, and he like taps his leg into the leg of the table, and you could hear like a clear metal clank as he is well. Scales over here do fine things with magic and prosthetics. Let me tell you that.
So I've heard. Do I recognise the 36th as the legion that was abandoned, or is this another legion? And this is
Let's see here. Let me just check to be completely sure before I say anything. No. The legion that was abandoned was the 230th.
okay. The 36th. I don't recall anybody that I know from there, but fair enough. Would have thought that most folk around here would be from the 230.
Aye. Some would say that.
Would you
looks at
say
you.
that?
Well, some are, some are not. It's a question of taste, really. And he drinks a bottle of beer. I'm going to.
Bit like the beer in the city, then.
Right, Shaw. He looks at you as you're talking about the 36th, and he gets another and he gets an insight of 15. Does he get any kind of weird vibe from you or no?
I think the more I'm speaking, the more he could probably realise that I'm a little bit more well spoken than the average legionary. I'm not making it the most covert. I'm not making the most covert effort to like push him for information. Like it's quite obvious that I'm just testing the waters, just seeing how willing he is to talk about just stuff in general related to the related to the Imperium. But yeah,
What are you saying, Cephas?
Yeah, I was just remarking. Don't worry.
Well, what's it to you with all the 36 and the 230?
I'm new in town. I was just trying to find some distant family. They were, heard that they might be around here somewhere. But yeah, that's all.
Give me a straight up charisma roll here.
Okie dokie. Oh Christ! 17.
He sits down next to you and Cephas says, "Right, you're new here, so I'll be nice to you.
If you wouldn't mind.
If the 230th is not equally popular everywhere, some of them after the Imperator and his mighty eagles and the legions went away from this godforsaken place, some of us were left behind. Some of us just continued living. We didn't need all that hubbub about anything. But the 230th, they went ahead by doing more slavery. And some of me and the old lads, we don't like too much of that sort of thing. Might be a big thing back home, but there's a reason we're not there.
A reason you're not back in the Imperium.
Yeah, it's too much bloodshed, too much all of that problematic things. The slavery and the racial superiority. We're here because we like, or some of us at least, because we want just a peaceful place. And it's not like the Dragonborns are much better, but you gotta take what you can. And in this part of town, you probably shouldn't hail the 230th too much if you don't want to be dragged out back by some of these old timers over here.
What was your rank, soldier?
Primus.
Well.
And you?
Thank you very much for your help. Name Obcho.
Oh. So an officer, eh?
At one point, yes. Let's say that me and the Imperium have parted ways, but not in the same way that the 230th and the Imperium have parted ways.
He stretches out his hand to shake it, and he says, "Sophocles, Sussicles Mycon. I'll just write it in chat.
Cheers.
Yes.
Well, Mycon, pleased to meet you. I'm
And
sure. Go on.
He also extends his hand to you, Cephas.
Yeah, I kind of shake it back. It's like, well, you can call me Oust. Sorry, Mister. This is my associate, Sophis. Yes, Sophis.
Please. And he will also shake the man's hand if a bit hesitantly.
I wouldn't worry too much, Sophis. He's not. He's not part of the more intolerant upper society of the Imperium. Are you, Primus?
Well, I got a living with my bar here, sir. I'm sure. Well, I'll just call you Oust if that's not a problem to you, sir.
Not a problem at all.
Very well.
And
Some parts of, oh sure. Some parts of this island is very much like the old country. Some of it is not. Right here, we're a bit more progressive-like.
that's what I'd like to hear.
But I get the feeling that you're not asking for just out of curiosity. Are you asked?
Not purely. What was that, Sophis?
Astute. It's the word he says.
Certainly is. No.
Yeah, well, you're not a good NCO if you can't read the minds of most officers who comes your way, right? He says.
You're not wrong. Mycon, if some members of my former outfit were to come through the city, the similar mindset to myself, would you be able to at least put them up, make them feel not at home, but comfortable?
Sure, well, of course I can't host anyone for free, but
No. Wouldn't expect it. But
I mean, we can give them a safe harbor, like figure that out.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm looking
Who's
for
coming?
friends, Mycon. My old sergeant under my command, and some of her cohort, a couple of engineers, the usual. I'm coming from
Name?
up north. Savannah, Axia.
Wait, that Primus Savannah?
Yeah,
The one who fought her way out of a Norseman prison of war?
the very same.
Whoa!
She seems to
Wow.
have more of a reputation than even I do. There we go.
She is legendary in all the non-com circles. That's interesting, really. Well,
Yes.
well, if you're good enough for Savannah, you're good enough for me. That's for sure, sir.
Excellent. I'm looking for friends, Mycon. I'll be frank with you.
All right. Well, not saying I am
There is
one. Not saying I'm not. Saying depends.
Of course it does. There is thinking. Sorry, go on.
No, he shifts his weight. Clearly, as an amputee, it gets achy after a while.
There are certain schools of thought within the Imperium, ones that aren't necessarily the most popular, that would say that perhaps some of the business that even goes on in this city is, well, against our nature, shall we say. Perhaps superiority isn't all it's cracked up to be. What would you say to that, Primus?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that.
Oh, because you rolled in that one? Yeah, sure. I can
Yeah.
definitely get behind that.
That's just a reroll, right? Or is that
Yeah, that's just a reroll.
Okay.
You are Like this
And
is
that
this
one.
is this is like how many net ones have you? Oh, was that Safis last time?
Well, this
Uh,
campaign, no, it was me. I am.
You know what? Take another fucking re-roll. This is outside. I'm like I would have been fine if it was a 2. This is too much. This is too much.
If I roll another 1, it fucking stands. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping you would have gotten a 2 there. Just
Oh
really.
my god.
But instead, you get a 4 up to a 9.
Got a 4. That's good. 4's good. 4's a good roll.
If you took my average rolls over this campaign so far, it would not be nice. But they were
No, no.
anyway.
He looks at
Oh,
you.
Well, such a nice
Every
sword,
campaign
right?
needs a Wheaton.
Well, to be frank, Oust, he says, looking at you. Big difference between not wanting to own anyone else's property and then, not knowing that humans or halflings, well, they're just not the same as us, are they? That's fine. They're just like they're fine. Many of my friends are halflings,
I'm not
Oh,
racist. I have a halfling friend.
or I know some tabaxis too, but it's just like I wouldn't marry one, right? That's just common sense, right?
Of course.
He like give me an insight, both of you.
Ten.
Go ahead. Also use Cephas. Ours in the meantime. Well, this guy is like
Sorry,
progressive. And
what am I
insight,
rolling?
please.
Insights. Okay.
He's progressive, but he's not that progressive.
Oh, he like for a Chthonian, he's very progressive. That's also
11.
what you get, Cephas. He's pretty progressive
Yeah.
for a Chthonian, right?
Yeah.
They are.
Where he's
Sufis-
progressive, I'm practically deviant. Is basically where
Yes.
it stands on
Yeah,
it.
to
Like,
be fair,
for-
Sufis has a very low opinion of Catholians as a rule of
Yeah.
thumb, so he's not much better.
No. Mostly Chthonians, like much of their culture has been built up around the myth of Chthonian elven superiority, right? So a guy doing this, he's practically a socialist, right?
Yeah, whereas I'm as good as
Yeah.
a communist.
You're as good as
Okay. Yes, of course. Well,
But
Icon, it's been a pleasure.
but you're looking for friends, you say?
Yes.
For what?
Sufis kind of
Oh,
very quietly not kicks, but like taps Alts in the ankle under the table.
just community, you know. Frank exchange of ideas, that kind of thing.
His insight is not too good. Oh well, that's fine. So what do you want me to do when Primus Savannah arrives?
Just make her feel welcome. I'm sure you can do that in this lovely establishment.
Sure. Yeah, we have a few rooms upstairs.
Excellent. Well, I'll let them know where they're going.
Right. But he stands up and he's like, I'll let the two of you enjoy your drinks and nice to
You're
talk
very
to you, and
kind.
I guess I'll see you before you leave town then.
Mm.
Optio, Oust.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right, sure, sir. He says, and then he goes back to the bar.
Right, and I will finish my drink quickly, but not like absolutely tank it, and then go, Mr. Sophis, perhaps you're ready to leave?
Sufis is indeed ready to leave.
Excellent. Let's go.
Not as fruitful as he was hoping, but not the worst case.
Yes, you.
Take the Chthonian out of Chthonian. Can't take the Chthonian out of the Chthonian. There we go. Of course. All narrow-minded, just bureaucratic troglodytes. Right, well, if they won't come by nicety, they'll have to come by force. I will mutter to myself, Right. Perhaps we should make our way back to the...
Others.
I'm assuming we call it an inn, shall we?
Yeah, Safis agrees. But, And Safis kind of just like lets what he was about to say drop for a moment and just, starts walking back towards the inn.
This is
Take
taking you around an hour, by the way. Maybe 1.5, if you've been very slow. Go ahead.
Speak your mind, Safis. I'm not an officer now.
Are you sure? He says, kind of very pointedly, turning to look at Ost. Savius noticed you pulled rank not once, but 4 times in that conversation. Not to mention the rank of one of your underlings, which
Yes.
you would
Who
not
will
have
not
if you
be.
did not maintain your rank.
Let's say the rank wouldn't necessarily hold up. Back in the motherland, shall we?
Fair enough. Safis is curious to know why, though. You seem confident in willing
well,
to
I'd
use this
imagine
rank.
me running away with a big green sword from a dig site that I was in charge of probably doesn't quite help that. I'd
True
imagine my
enough.
rank was only in place by pure favor alone, if you can call it favor, with my backstabbing family. Okay, anyway, but yes, let it not be mistaken. I pulled rank for the means of the conversation rather than for the pride.
It's just how do you say? Safis is learned to grow wary of men who press forward through conversation in such a manner. After all, they did want. And he kind of visibly decompresses a little bit after you kind of explained yourself. It is neither here nor there. A shame we could not find allies this night.
Nope. Looks like it's going to be a slower change than I thought. Still,
Yes.
help it's on its way. I should point out they're not for us. Arban and Savannah are coming here for a more long-term project, shall we say.
Interesting.
Safis agrees with this. As much as Safis wishes that we could solve this problem very quickly, outside of murder, it is unlikely to go away very soon, and even with... As much as Safis regrets to admit it, even with the elimination of this woman, it is unlikely that her organization will fall to crumble.
No.
She is...
Which is part 2 of my little project, but that's...
Yes. She is too good for that.
Well, I can assure you that I would take pleasure, but I am certainly not against just the simple murder of this woman. So,
Yes.
Have you... Hold on, but when
Yeah,
he says
go
that,
ahead.
Safis will briefly remark, have you ever had to kill another person, Ost? Not in self-defense, or in a war, or some other monster, but the idea that you particularly seem so open to this surprises me.
she ideologically stands against everything I believe in. So, let's just say I'm taking it out on her rather than other people, shall we?
Safis kind of gives a nod, a little understanding of that remark, but very well. Yeah. Let us go then to sleep, and in the morning we can talk more about what we plan on doing next.
And there are still friends to be made in this city, I'm sure of it, even if we don't find them this evening.
We can certainly hope. In the worst case scenario, we can try to find these assassins Theos was so worried about and maybe hire them. He says, half joking.
I will half-jokingly say back, it's not the worst idea.
As you turn your back to the stately cherry, the Tectum Augustum Cerasus, you walk down the small alley roads on the southern side of the Cathonia Minor island. And Safis, as you look to your left as you pass a corner, you see down the pier and then the River Cathon on the other side. The the lights of the Henino estate across the river. And you can see that many of the guards are not there anymore, but you are keenly aware of the wind blowing in your direction, the faint smell of jasmine again hitting your nostrils.
He will
As
take
you
a
make-
deep breath
Yeah.
and continue forward.
As you make your way back to the Ale Scale Tavern Inn, people are just lining the streets, completely anti-mirroring the mood of your errand in this city. As you make your way back up the stairs, you pass Johnny Grielski on the way, who just lazily waves at you. I think your friends just came home. Pretty drunk, so.
Oh,
Sarfis is not
deep
surprised
joy.
by this.
neither am I.
Which,
Oh.
I assume you mean the, Theus is a half-elf, correct?
Theus, he's a half elf, isn't he? Or
No,
is he?
he's
Oh,
human.
he's just a human. Yeah.
Oh, he is. For some reason, I thought he was a
Yeah.
half-elf. Okay, my mistake. Do you mean the two humans? I assume.
No, the big human and the gnome.
Oh, the brothers. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Sarfis turns over to Honest. Not sure where he got that remark, but this surprises Sarfis. Sarfis did not expect Nurgle to be the one to get drunk. Period. Seemed a bit to makes a motion to indicate uptight.
Yes. I'd imagine his farts squeak. But there we go.
Wait,
As you
Let's see.
come upstairs, you see kind of the remains of street meat and water and lettuce on the ground, as a destroyed kebab has just been drowned on just outside the front door. It's closed, but you find your keys that you haven't forgotten, and you let yourself in. Inside in the main room, you see in like some kind of dog bed, you see Nongle and Nibbles being like rolled up, cuddling in their sleep. Nibbles doesn't really sleep; it's familiar, so it's just staring at you as you come in, almost begging you to be quiet. Bjorn is snoring so hard from one of the rooms that the door is just vibrating, and Theus is nowhere to be seen. He's probably sleeping.
well, that's it as that. Good night,
Yes.
Lost.
Good night, Mrs. Sophis.
And Sarfis will find the furthest room from Bjorn's he can manage and go to bed.
Alst will put the locket back on and just meditate as much as he can with the noise.
As you take on the locket, you sit down and you hear from the special black silent place inside of your mind. Good night, Oust. And that is where we will end our session for today.
All right.
So thank you for that. Now we are finally arrived, and you are starting to roam around the Grand Canal city of Rath Hajar. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Holy moly, what's some pretty decent role playing today, wouldn't you say?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, and thank you guys for playing. It has been a pleasure for me, of course, having all of you doing your wonderful roles here. And I hope that even though we didn't have too much combat this episode, it has still been interesting to follow up on. Next time, we will see our brave heroes wrestle with the power structures within Rath Hajar itself, as they're trying to bring down the might of the slaver Atet Hinin. And other than that, I will just say thank you for watching. I would like to again make a shout out to Michael Gelfi for the lovely music that you have been hearing some of this episode. Right now, you are hearing some of the the royalty-free playlist that I have been constructing. If any of you guys want that, please let us know. If you want to talk to us or write with us in any way, go to our Reddit r/Epic Boon. We also have a Discord server, and you can message us on Twitter and everything. So go ahead and write us. We also do world building streams here, and you can see the videos and past episodes on our YouTube channel. And of course, as always, thank you very much to Nick, our IT guy, who does live streams as well. Tanner, you will drop the link in the chat so you guys can have a look at him if you want some more epic entertainment. So
Absolutely.
Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all you guys for playing, and I'll just say good night, ding dongs.
Good night, ding dongs.
Ding dong.
I think dogs.
All right, bring it out, Scooby. Thank you guys. Bye.
Like, forget how